What's up, fight fans? How you guys doing out there? Yeah. How you guys doing this morning? It is fight night, and we are here, people. We are here. Do you hear me? Listen. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. Ah, what a day, what a day, what a day. What a day for boxing. Look, I'm exhausted, working hard, but I'm up here early, drinking my coffee and in my robe, with just anticipating on talking boxing. What's up, James? How you doing? What's up, chat? Good. MJ, do it. Can MJ do it? Ooh, ooh. Brother, I have to be honest. Uh when I made this boxing channel, I took an oath to myself to try to be as honest as possible. And I'm not always correct. Not always correct. But I guess that what makes my channel interesting. Because even if I'm wrong in something, or you guys could have the opportunity to be right? We could talk about it. I can learn from you and you can learn from me. Is that right? Okay, this is an educational boxing channel where we educate each other in the sweet science, boxing. That being said, I have said a lot of things about MJ in recent weeks, months. His promotional company and Ed Hearn really pissed me off by disrespecting an undisputed world champion such as Naoya Inoue. Had it not been Naoya Inoue and they disrespected another undisputed world champion, I would have felt the same exact way. Don't disrespect Terrence Crawford, Usyk, Jamel Charlo, Jermaine Taylor, right? Um, uh, any undisputed champion, because I understand the significance of what it means to become a one division world champion. Just have one belt. I know how hard that shit is. And for you to get all four belts and then they just talk about you like you're a duck, or that is very disrespectful. It would be like calling Michael Jordan one of the weakest basketball players in his era. There's 10 basketball players better than Michael. That would be disrespectful. Calling Charles Barkley better than Michael Jordan. And I love Charles Barkley. You know, no disrespect to Charles Barkley if they want to take a shot at you. But, you know, unaccomplished wise. That's why I've always been offended. Because I respect our champions. No matter what, how I feel about them, how they got there. But if they fought one guy and won 3 belts, it doesn't matter. What matters is that they did it. And I have voiced my opinion. I have said to the fight fans, MJ Ahmadalia, he's in witness protection program. He doesn't really want to fight Naoya Inoue. He took the step aside money. Let's think of all the things Ahmadalia and his promotional team and his management has all said about Naoya the Monster Inoue, right? And with all that being said, I said all of that to say this, that when you pay attention to MJ's fighting style, that spells trouble for Naoya Inoue. It really does. You know, Naoya Inoue is like, I've have fought tooth and nail for this guy to try to get him his just dues and his respect. And but I'm not biased. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm no longer gonna sit here and see things and not say it. Not say it. Because the truth is the truth. I think that MJ is probably gonna be the most dangerous of all the opponents Naoya Inoue has faced. And the reason why I'm going to break down several of the reasons, because I don't want to mislead the fans and think that MJ is some cab driver, because I have talked down about him because of the fact that, what he was saying at the time. I was like, yeah, right. Naoya Inoue is not scared of you, and he's not avoiding you, and he's not ducking you. That's bullshit. Naoya Inoue would fight anyone, right? But maybe they saw the challenge, that it would be a difficult one. But avoiding, if he was avoiding you and he didn't want to fight you, why did Naoya Inoue is fighting you right now? Why in about a day and a half, you're about to enter the ring with him? So he's not avoiding you. Okay? But dangerous, MJ? This is a dangerous fight for Naoya Inoue for multiple reasons. Reason number one, right? MJ's coach is Joel Diaz. Joel Diaz was Roman Cardenas' coach. The Roman Cardenas that knocked down Naoya Inoue in Las Vegas in his very last fight. Not 3 fights ago, not 2 fights ago, not even 1 fight ago, his last fight. So that means that Joel Diaz is getting not 1, but 2 cracks at Naoya the Monster Inoue. And that, as a coach, is a plus. Because first of all, shouts out to Roman Cardenas. Shouts out to Roman Cardenas. I'm a fan. I have to admit this, that if he got that close with one of his pupils, Roman Cardenas, not being the top pupil in his stable of fighters in that weight division, but here comes his top fighter in that weight division, in the same division, and he's got MJ. Now, I saw how powerful Roman Cardenas was snapping that check hook from the right or the left. He was particularly favoring the left. So when you watch MJ, he's nasty throwing check hooks from the left and the right. And I mean, he's slick. Yo, his arms just cuff right in. It's so tight. It's like it's throwing the perfect spiral down the field. Like a football. Like Tom Brady be saying when he throws the ball, he wants it to be a perfect spiral. Yo, MJ got one of the prettiest, underrated, I think, not talked about check hooks in the game of boxing. First of all, he's in a lower weight division. A lot of eyes and a lot of people know who he is, right? But us that we do know who he is, look at that man's, and I'm telling you, it comes from the left and the right. Yo, they dangerous, bro. Those check hooks is, and what is Naoya Inoue seems to be his kryptonite. His aggression of going in and starting to look for the knockout. The times that Naoya Inoue got dropped, it was only due in part that he went chasing the knockout. And Naoya Inoue is a lot smarter fighter than that. He even said it at these press conferences. I know what I did. Sometimes something happens to you and somebody tells you, hey, you went in for the knockout and that's why you got caught, kid, right? And you as a fighter, you might think, he got lucky. He got lucky. I just did one wrong calculation, but I can still go in for the knockout. In his head, he's thinking this. And not the next fight, but the next fight after that, he gets cocky again. He pays attention for one fight against the Yi Young Kim fight, and then he gets cocky again. He's like, man, I'm going for knockouts. And he goes, poof, and he gets dropped. Then he puts his hand up in the corner, Naoya. He picks his hand, he acknowledges like his corner, his dad's there. And he's like, okay. Sometimes kids can be stubborn. Naoya Inoue, right? Don't want to take advice. Have we all been there in life, right? So Will Naoya Inoue play it more safe? Be in a better position on the outside, play the mid-range game, in and out. He has good bounce movement off the tip of his feet. If he stays disciplined, you see, the one thing that Naoya Inoue shows you every time he comes out, he doesn't fight the same way all the time. MJ boxes basically the same way, but he has a lot of weapons he can utilize. But he has a certain style about him. Naoya Inoue does not have a style of boxing. Naoya Inoue can flow. There's a difference. He's a different type of fighter. He can turn into the person that's fighting him right in front of him. He will beat you in your own game. He beat Stephen Kubo Fulton in the Philly show. Naoya Inoue can adapt to you and do it better than you. He'll do your own style in front of you better than you. Yeah. So he flows. He's nice. So when I think of fighters that can make reads, because all boxers are not the same. You know, there are boxers that just box. They don't make too many reads. They'll make like one or two reads because that's the level of how they are. Some boxers are what we call special, and they can identify things in the moment. You know, that would take years and years to train some kids to do this. And some of these kids are just doing it like instinctively, like bang, 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 right? And it's cool to watch, right? So that and this is gonna be a tough fight, I think, right? So the thing with Naoya Inoue is that he has the ability, if he wants to play it safe and be smart at the same time, he does have the ability to fight on the outside, mid-range, bounce in and out, really frustrate MJ and get him to walk into something. He does this shit for 4, 5, 6 rounds. Naoya Inoue, this thing is messing up today. He does that shit 4 or 5 rounds, and you know, MJ sees that through the 4 or 5 rounds, he's getting frustrated and he's also losing the rounds. You see what I'm saying? If the fighter gets in a position where he's getting back behind, you know, he's like losing a lot of rounds, like Loma versus Tio. I felt like Loma gave him the first 6 rounds. I was like, when the hell is Loma going to start fighting? Right? Shit like that. Right? Okay. So, I think that if Naoya can keep him like that and get MJ to make a mistake and come in, then catch him. The one good thing is that the danger is going to lie in how hurt MJ actually is. Meaning that if he gets frustrated and comes in, Naoya hits him, boom, and he goes like that, Naoya's going to go in for the kill. But he's still dangerous, MJ, at this point. Now, that's what I'm talking about. How hurt will he be? Is he hurt to the point where like Marlon Tapales was hurt, where that he was in the high guard, he hit him with a shot. When he went to hit him with the second shot, that first shot had already broke him and he fell. He couldn't throw nothing left. That's a different type of being hurt. Now, if you can be hurt, boom, and you're like, oh shit, and the guy's coming at you, he can release one of those check hook and catch Naoya Inoue coming in. It's like it depends how hurt he is when Naoya Inoue is coming and how smart he is coming in. A lot of things can happen. That doesn't necessarily mean that he'll catch him with the left check hook. No. But these are situations that could occur. You know, and I'm telling you right now that the fight's here, the fight's happening, and I'm gonna talk freely on it. This is a tough fight for Naoya Inoue. This is a really tough fight. Yeah. You know, all shit talking aside, all fucking cloud chasing and all that shit, and we're here, we're being honest. MJ has the ability to go to full 12 because of those check hooks. Naoya Inoue is going to have to respect that. He's going to have to fight a certain kind of fight. Perhaps he catches up to him. Perhaps he doesn't. Every punch Naoya Inoue throws is not like fucking life threatening. Fighters have proven to take his power. Roman Cardenas was all bubbled the hell up here, but he was fine. He said he could take Naoya Inoue's power. It was just the amount of punches. He was throwing like 6, 7 punches at a time and shit. And it's like getting hit with a sledgehammer fucking five times. Pow, 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 and they all hurt. But he said Naoya Inoue, what he did was in Roman Cardenas' situation, the reason why Roman Cardenas says it wasn't the power, it was the volume, because once Naoya Inoue got dropped, he took away from his power and added a little bit of speed and distance. That's all he did. He wasn't hitting Roman Cardenas with his power, like full power shots, like one punch knockout power. No, because in those situations, you would have to overextend a little bit. Him being dropped in the fight, he didn't want to extend nothing. He wanted to stay in position, and where he was into position to evade, but give damage. So he took away power and he added volume and speed with minimum power, like that. So the punches might not have been hard for Roman Cardenas, but there was a lot of them. It was like getting hit with a hammer instead of a sledgehammer. And he was pow, 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 like that. That's what happened. So Roman Cardenas is on the assumption that he took Naoya Inoue's best shots. No, he didn't. What he took from Naoya Inoue was just an aware, alert, fighting on the outside a little bit more long, and then getting up and hit him with a variety of punches. Naoya Inoue was already thinking combination, not power. You understand? He wasn't sitting down on his punches. He didn't hit Roman Cardenas like he hit Yi Young Kim. If he hits Roman Cardenas on that chin with that shot that he hit Yi Young Kim with, Cardenas is going out. And so ain't MJ. Because he would those are certain things you know. When you know you're fast enough to catch the guy in front of you, you're comfortable to throw in your power shot. You know it's gonna land. And that's all that happened in that situation. So Roman Cardenas, shout out to you and your performance and everything. But all that being under the assumption that you took his best shots, no, you didn't. Naoya Inoue did not get a chance to catch you flush with his best shot. What he chose to do was back up, dial it back. And that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. And he was just fighting more aware. Now, I think that's, look, Naoya Inoue, the monster, bro, that's why he's so unique to me. He's a really special fighter. I'm intrigued to see the style of fighting and the approach in this fight to a dangerous, a worthy opponent in MJ. He's worthy. He had 2 belts. He was unified world champion under 10 fights. Under 10 fights, he had 2 belts. Just remember that. MJ ain't no slouch, man. He ain't no slouch. Now, like I said, I had always had mixed feelings on what Ed Hearn and the message they were trying to put out that he was ducking them and shit. Now, man, you guys are full of shit, right? But now that we're here and I got to break down the fight, man, I'm not gonna sit here and bash MJ. No, nah. I have to call that man for what he is. He's a former unified world champion. Yes, he's a former unified world champion in that same weight division. So, yeah, this is gonna be a tough fight, but I think that Naoya Inoue understands it. I really truly believe he understands his game plan, his job. I think that him and his father Shingo have devised a plan to leave MJ standing in the middle of the ring with those 2 check hooks that he had prepared so well for. He's never gonna land them. Naoya Inoue, MJ needs to push him against the rope and trap him to try to unleash those. Because as long as they stay in the center of the ring, I think Naoya Inoue is not going to be that stupid. He's a really brilliant fighter. But all fighters can lose. All fighters can lose. You're gonna meet that style, that one particular style that it doesn't make sense to you. And a lot of styles go down by that ducking, looping, hook style like that. It seems like boxers can't adjust well to the speed of those kind of punches. Yeah, so salute, Low Nose Boxing. Drop the link. All right, I'm gonna drop it right now in a minute. Yo, Edwin, Naoya has the hands full of his one fam. What? Yo, Edwin, Inoue has his hands full. Yeah, he has his hands full. Oh, he really does right now. He really does. Yo, I love the monster, bro. You guys know he's right there. He's right there. Yeah. Hold up. Where's my shit at? Oh no, I'm not representing. I'm not representing the Japaricans out there. Oh, to all my Japaricans, hold up. We going to war, baby. We going to water. It's game time. We going to war, motherfucker. Huh? No retreat, no surrender. Let's go, Japaricans. Naoya, in a way, makes me proud to be Japanese. You're not Japanese. Oh yeah. Listen. Yo, to my boy, Naoya, let's go. Yo, hold on. Let's give him respect. Let's. Yo, you know who it is. You know what it is. My man Naoya anyways about to get in the ring Sunday morning. You know what I mean? It's Japan. It's Monday in Japan. But or is it Saturday in Japan? Is it one of the other ways? I keep getting mixed up sometimes. But boy, we got a banger on our hands. And Naoya the Monster anyway is gonna put up all 4 belts on the line. It's a big moment. Saul Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford tonight. Help is on the way. Cause these two or 4, I should say, these 2 big fights are gonna really and are supposed to really have us talking for a long time in boxing. It's really gonna give us something. I look forward to Naoya Inoue fights. I look forward to Terrence Crawford fights, and I look forward to Saul Canelo Alvarez fights. Everybody in the chat, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? Um, same pro, same protest. What's up, George? How you doing? Carlos in the building. Low Nose Boxing's in the building. Mountain Man in the building. Ace, how you doing in the building? Yo, listen. Man, listen. I'm excited for tonight. Terrence Crawford, Saul Canelo Alvarez. This is your last chance to pick. Who do you guys got in the fight? Who's gonna win tonight? If you're gonna pick a side, I'm gonna be running a live stream. I wanted to go over to the fight party and do it there, but it's just gonna be too much people, and I'm not gonna be able to enjoy the fight and stream. I'm all set up here. I got my Netflix on my left. I'm gonna stay here, but I'm gonna ask my family that's watching at their fight party. I'm gonna teach them how to set it up so that they can stream live with me. So, and I'm gonna ask them all who they're gonna pick before the fight starts, and we'll see how it goes, right? So, I I just want to know, what do you guys think about this fight with Saul and Terrence Crawford? Um, I I do my part by reporting it. I try to stay out as a fan. I don't want to build a boxing channel of that. I just like to boost up my favorite fighters. So my approach to reporting boxing is I report boxing as a whole. Every single boxer on planet Earth, anyone that's bold enough to lace up those gloves and get the in that ring, you got my respect and I love you. I'm a fan. Okay. I don't have a horse in the race. I no longer have a horse in the race. I was once upon a time a Terrence Crawford fan, a hardcore Crawford fan, and I was a hardcore Saul Canelo Alvarez fan. Today, I'm neither. I'm a fan of all of them. So I can give you my prediction and tell you what I think, and I think who might win the fight, but that doesn't make him my fighter. I may be picking that guy because I really think my guy doesn't have a chance against him. You see? Okay. So when we talk about these situations and these fights, look, it's cool to be a fan. It's cool to be a fan. It's cool to support your guys. It's cool to be right. It's cool to be wrong. In this situation, I don't think that that's what we're looking for. What we're looking for is some action. That's what we're looking for. We want to see knockouts. We want to see the best fighters, right? So that's why we watch it. So Terrence Crawford right now and this Saul Canelo Alvarez fight, man, honestly, may the best man win. Uh, I could pick Saul. I could pick Terrence. Either way, I don't think I'll be picking wrong. I really don't. I really don't. But how do you guys feel? Tell me about your favorite fighter. Let me know. Let me know. Just simply text Crawford or Saul. Just whoever wants. I got Saul. I got Crawford. You don't have to explain why. You don't have to get into this whole thing, But I'm gonna drop the link right now, and we talking. Anybody wants to come up, talk, feel free. This is the topic. We're talking about tonight's fight, Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford, and we are also discussing Naoya the Monster Inoue versus MJ. If you would like to come up, voice your opinion on that. Wait up. Why isn't it copying the link? Okay, let's copy the link. Let's try this again. Here we go. Here we go. Bow, bow, bow. There's the link right there. I'm dropping it in the chat. I'm on Restream just in case any new viewers are coming up. You may have to just download it's just like StreamYard or OBS, whatever. It's just really, So here we go. What it do? What it do? Low nose boxing.
Oye, papi, los boricuas se va con Canelo hoy, para que tú lo sepas, puñeta. Boricuas pa Canelo. And usually I don't do the tribal thing, bro.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
they made it this way. The Bud fans made it this way. So I'm
Yeah.
going to stick with the guy that talks my language. Saul
Get it.
Canalito Alvarez, para que tú lo sepas. But it's all love, though. These are great
All love.
fighters.
It's a great fight.
If Canelo wins, he gets all the credit in the world. I don't want to hear nobody say he was the bigger man. The way people are talking about this fight, this is 50-50. Let's keep that same energy. If
Mm-hmm.
Canelo beats Bud Crawford, he's a top 8 pound for pound all time great. If Bud Crawford beats Canelo, same thing for him. Top 10, top 8 pound for pound all time great.
Mm-hmm.
And being that we're over here supporting our favorite fighters, you got the Japanese flag on your head. I might as well throw the Honduran flag on my head because my guy, the leader of the new generation of boxing, Teofimo Lopez, the two-time undisputed champion, is gonna fight Shakur Stevenson. Did you see that face-off?
Yo, I heard about that. I just didn't I haven't had really time between my training and everything to see if this was another cloud chasing thing that boxing was trying to keep these guys' names. You know how boxing does this shit, right?
Yeah.
They'll go and announce this dude against Bud or this guy against Boots when he doesn't have a fight scheduled just to keep his fight name relevant until they figure it out. Then I heard another news on the same day that Teofimo Lopez had made up with Turkey Al Sheikh.
Yes, I was just gonna say that. Yes.
They made up, and that now Turkey's gonna be rocking with Teo. So then I said, well, that's a good thing. I said, well, let's see what happens here. So, I was catching up on them. I'm a little bit behind between my training and everything, but I like that you bring this up. So share some
I
light.
hope he doesn't mess it up. I hope he doesn't mess it up this time
Hey.
around. I hope he learned from his mistake. And Turkey can't freeze the guy out. At the end of the day, he is the top guy at 140. You know what I'm saying? He got the main belt. He's probably one of the most exciting fighters to watch in boxing right now,
Mhm.
whether you like what he says outside the ring or not. So Turkey got to do business with the man. But hopefully Tio learns from his
Yeah.
mistakes and
He's
doesn't talk himself out of a situation. And
again.
yeah, exactly. Because this
Yeah.
generation of young men, this generation, all due respect, are not really too mature. in certain
Well,
areas. You know what I'm saying?
Lo, let me help you out a little bit here with this TO situation, and I just want to like bring this out to the public. As far as Teofimo Lopez, my opinion on him, he's good for boxing. He's good for boxing. He's one of the guys that came up that we've been watching. He's given us some legendary fights with Loma, and I saw that young man really like. He made me a
John
fan. That
Taylor.
now I understand the controversy that is Teofimo Lopez. I do. I get it. I get it. Now I'm not here to defend or persuade you or change your mind. I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is what Teo tried to do was fight fire with fire. Once upon a time, Teofimo Lopez was going through a divorce, and a lot of boxing outlets, a lot of them took shots at him when he was down and out. And I remember they made a lot of funny punch jokes on him, and there were a lot of channels that did this. And
Yeah.
Teo, when he finally got on his feet and he got by that divorce and he wasn't retiring from boxing or throwing away the WBO to show the courts, lady, I don't got no more money. I quit boxing. You can't stop trying to take everything for a dollar amount. And then he came back to boxing. I get what he was doing. But when he came back, see, not all of us are one line savvy. Not all of us can say the coolest things. Have you ever said something that came out of your mouth wrong in your life? Teofimo
Yeah, yeah. We've all had absolutely.
Okay. So Teofimo Lopez, you know, he says some things. I think he was just hurt. And I can identify that. As a man, I could see that. Is Teo racist? Hell no.
No, he's
Hell
not
no.
racist.
Hell no. I don't believe that for a second. But the people will put that on him because you know because of some things that he has said and the
Yeah.
way he acted. But all that to aside, I'm not trying to change your mind. I just know I saw a troubled young man handling things in life like most of us. We don't have no manual. I was put in this world. A manual wasn't stuck to my ass and say, do this, 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 and this. Don't say this, this, and this. Right?
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
make mistakes. We make
Yeah.
mistakes. That's it. So I'm not thinking, but as far as Teofimo Lopez being a 140-pound champion, he's the best 140-pound champion right now. He's the
He's the
longest
one.
reigning
Yeah.
140-pound champion.
He's been the one holding it down. Like that division is a great division. I'm gonna be real with
Yeah.
you. For me, as long as I've been watching boxing, this might be the best era of 140 that I've seen in a long time. And
Damn.
the division
Oh
is
yeah.
so deep. The division is so deep. The belts just flip flop. You know, we had Super Rio had a
Right.
belt. He lost the belt. He got a belt back. We seen the belts switch hands. And
Richard
Teal's the only
Henderson
one
got
that's
a
been
belt.
holding.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Teal's been the only one holding the belt. And you know, let's not diminish his win. Arnold Barboza had a lot of momentum going into that fight. He beat Jack Catterall, and I was picking Jack Catterall to win that fight.
Brother,
Jack
you don't
Catterall,
you don't gotta sell me on that win. At least Teofimo Lopez fought that fucking night.
yeah, and
At
he
least he
got he.
fought Arnold Barboza. He didn't run around the ring in a circle with him or go in there and fuck up the bag and get dropped and lose.
See, that's the difference between running and boxing. I'm glad you said it because a lot of people say, "Oh, that's boxing." No, that's not boxing. That's running. What T.O. did was box. Because T.O. he moved around a lot himself, but he
Yeah.
boxed. He made him miss. He made him pay. He was slick, moving his head, hitting him with combinations. He
Yeah.
was
Teo
also
did
being a
fight.
showman. He was being a showman. That's when you
Right.
outbox somebody, bro. When people say, "Oh, that's boxing," running around and boxing is two different things, bro. When you want to see somebody get outboxed, you watch Pernell Whitaker. Well, Pernell Whitaker will make you miss, slip you, hit you with a sharp counter, knock your head back. Floyd Mayweather would outbox people. Even Devin Haney in his best performances that he had, like against Regis Prograis and Linares, that's boxing, bro. It's a difference. That's not. I mean, I'm not. I don't want to shit on Devin Haney because he did win that fight against Jose Ramirez, no doubt about it. It wasn't pretty, but I don't want to. I ain't calling the shit on Devin Haney right now because I got a lot of respect for Devin as a fighter because Devin Haney, regardless of what you want to say about his antics as well, the man fights and he doesn't duck no smoke. And it's a shame that Javante Davis, who I feel personally is probably the most complete fighter out of that whole little bunch, doesn't take the chances. Like Tio, this is gonna be the second time Tio takes care of Tank's dirty work because Lomachenko was supposed to be for Tank. Tank
Right.
ducked him, and then
Right.
Tio fought him and beat him. Shakur Stevenson was supposed to be for Tank. Tank
Right.
ducked him, and Tio's
Right.
fighting him. Whether Tio beats him or not, that's a whole other story. But he's fighting the man. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give these fighters their props. And I told Ness I was on the Boxing Voice a little while ago. I called
You
him.
were? Okay.
Yeah, I called that. I told Ness that this is the first official fight of the quote unquote young kings. And he kept debating me, telling me, no, we have Ryan and Tank. And my thing is, I'm telling him, Ryan is not a king. If
He's
you want to
not.
compare them to the kings, you got to go all the way. When the kings fought each other, the first official king fight was Benitez and Leonard. When the kings fought, they already established themselves. Leonard was a gold medalist. Benitez was a two-division world champion at 21. When Duran fought Leonard, Duran was already an all-time great for what he did at 135. When Ryan fought Tank, Ryan didn't have a pot to piss in. When he
Right.
fought Devin, he didn't have a pot to piss in. When Shakur and Teo fight, these are two guys that have accomplishments, right? And
Yeah.
not to shit on Ryan, what Ryan is he's a supporting cast member to the Kings. He's a guy that fought a couple of kings.
Okay.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, I got to stop you right there for a second. I got to stop you right there for a second. Now, check this out. I'm with you on all of that. There's just one small subtlety that you can't use the old way of um judging the four horsemen in that era when in this era we have evolved in boxing. Whether you like what we've evolved to or not, you have to admit that popularity now wins more, and the stigma is belts are not more important. It's the star of the quality of the person. So we've entered in a stage in boxing where it's quicker. I mean, these kids don't even got one fight in yet. They haven't even stepped one foot in the ring, and they already got a buzz. You see, it's not like it was back then. So when Ness says that and you say that, you're holding Ryan Garcia to a standard that was set by the old ways. You see? And when Ness says that Ryan Garcia is one of the four kings, I have to admit with him because under the sense that he was one of the guys that was selling like them. Now he wasn't as accomplished. The Four Kings, the level of the status, it's fluctuated. I think it's down now, right? But in a weird way, it's up because you made the most money with Ryan. Devin made the most money with Ryan, and Tank made the most money with Ryan. So what he doesn't bring to the ring in his level of belts, he brings in money and revenue
And views, yeah.
and
And
views
views.
too. You're right. So in that sense, that's why I see where people say that, and I have to think of it objectively. That's kind of like me saying, I want to live in an era where it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But yet, when you say, yeah, if he shoots my son, I'm gonna shoot him. Okay. Well, then as soon as you do that, you gotta sacrifice a woman or something, a blood sacrifice.
Well,
So
I gotta
remember,
agree and disagree with you
it's
because
crazy. Yeah, you can't have it both ways. But okay, let me hear what you got to say. Come on.
all right now you brought up what I had said in the previous dialogue that we had when I talked about the belts. The person holding the belt means more, right? I'm
Mhm.
not talking about the popularity. I'm talking about
I
what
know. I
that
know.
person's legacy, right? Example,
Right.
all right, back in the Four Kings, the big name guy, the cash cow of that group was Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard's popularity wasn't because of social media, which they didn't have. His popularity was because of what he did in the ring in the amateurs as a gold medal winner. What he did in the ring is what made him popular. Ryan Garcia is not popular for what he does in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference. When I say the belts don't matter, it's more of the who has the belt. I'm not talking about the popularity of the person. I'm talking about the respect level, the accomplishment. Let me give you an example. Errol Spence Jr., for instance, he had those belts, right? Bud Crawford beat Errol Spence, right? That's a big win. He beat a guy that Errol Spence, whether people want to still shit on him or not, Errol Spence did a lot of work. He beat some top guys to get those belts. So that belt means more than just going out there and beating, all due respect, Mario Barrios or somebody like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Errol Spence got his name for what he did. He earned his name. He wasn't given his name. Ray Leonard came in with a name, but
Right.
he earned that name for what he did
Right.
inside the ring in the amateurs and the Olympics. It's a difference.
Right.
Ryan didn't do that. So Ryan to me is not a king. Shakur
No, he's a
Stevenson always been a king.
self-proclaimed king.
Shakur's a king. Tio's a king. Tank is a king. Devin's a king. And I believe Brian Norman Jr. has, because they're still young, he has
Potential.
an opportunity to put his name in there if he beats
Yeah.
Devin.
yeah. Sometimes us as boxing fans, we put the cart before the horse, and we automatic. These guys have like this one fight, and all of a sudden we're like boosting them up there. We've seen fighters start off really amazing that were supposed to be great all time fighters, even compared to Floyd Mayweather, AB. And he never turned out actually. And AB is actually what he did before he like had that drop. He was fucking kicking ass.
At 135, 130, he was the man.
Oh no,
Absolutely.
AB was the oh, he was a dog. So but it's unfortunate to see what he's going through in life. And sometimes some of these guys don't pan out. So as fight fans, we have a tendency of putting the cart before the horse. That's exactly what I mean. I think that Brian Norman Jr. has the potential to be great. And another person, hear me out, guys. Don't freaking try to get all over me. That's not great. That there are a lot of people that are putting the cart before the horse is Jerron Boots Ennis.
Yeah, Jerron Boots Ennis is not. Yeah, Jerron Boots Ennis.
But they calling him a phenom. They're calling him the phenom. They're calling him the next thing besides what's up, Chicago Kills? They give me a second. They calling him all these things. He just hasn't had those fights. Not that he doesn't have the potential. Not that we don't see it. But as fight fans, we're already putting the cart before the horse. That's another example. And we're starting to call him these certain things and phrases, and that this guy was ducking him and this and that, when I don't think that they have the fights to back that up yet. So it's
off the eye test. He's the truth. Off the eye test. I mean to cut you off.
Yep. Yeah, off the eye test is what well, I thought an eye test, a perfect example was Tank Davis. Off my eye test, I thought he was the best thing since sliced bread.
Tank Davis is.
He just ain't fought nobody.
That's what he fought decent guys, but he could have fought better. And it's heartbreaking because Tank Davis. He's not even my favorite one out of the young guys. T.O.'s my guy, but I really feel that Tank Davis is a special fighter. Tank Davis has all the attributes to become an all-time great. He really does. He has everything
like me.
He has everything to become one of the greatest lightweights of all time. Imagine if Tank, right? Let's take away the last 5 fights that he had, 4 fights. Let's say he would have fought Devin at 135. Let's say he would have fought Teal after Teal fought Loma. Let's say he would have fought all these guys, and let's say he would have beaten them, right? Because he has a great shot at doing that, right? Whoever's on their game plan first, we would have to argue about, is Tank one of the greatest lightweights of all time? Because this was a very good light, and it's still a great lightweight division, but it was a better lightweight division when we had all the guys there. A lot of them are at 140 right now. 140 right now. Like, think about the last great ever of 140. Like, think about it. Danny Garcia had a very good era. He had Lucas Matisse. He had Zab. He had some guys that was old. But this era, you got guys that are young. Listen, like you said, we got T.O. at the top. We got Hitchens. We got Matias. We got Gary Antoine. And then we still got Keyshawn Davis is going to come back. We got Devin. Devin was just there. Shakur's moving up. You still got you got former champions there, like what's the guy's name? The one that fought Matias that beat him, Paro. You got Pitbull Cruz. You got some solid names. You got Valenzuela.
You got Rayo.
Valenzuela. Yeah, we still got Barbosa there. That's a deep division, bro. That's a very deep division. Whoever cleans out that division can go down as arguably the greatest junior welterweight of all time since Julio Cesar Chavez.
Right. Yo, did anybody? By the way, Chicago Kills. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Did any of you guys happen to catch the Rivera fight last night? I watched that Dominican card and fell asleep in the first round of the fight. I stood up. That freaking card went on forever, it felt like. And I finally got to the main event and I fell asleep. What? Anybody see what happened?
Who'd he fight? Rivera.
Michelle Ali Rivera fought last night in DR.
Oh, is that the dude who Valdez knocked out?
No, that's the Dominican dude that he fought
Frank the Ghost Martin beat.
Yeah, Frank. That's the one Frank Martin got his name on for beating him. Yeah.
Right, for beating him.
Yeah.
Right. So,
hey, but I kind of want.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
You know what I was gonna say, because I was listening. Y'all talk about Ryan Garcia. He shouldn't be one of the kings, the 4 kings.
No, he should, in my opinion.
And then I think Low Nose brought up Wilfredo Benitez.
Hmm.
But Wilfredo got knocked out by Salvador Sanchez, and why would he be in the
No,
mix of
no, he
being
didn't.
one of
No,
the?
no,
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 he
no.
didn't.
That's Wilfredo Gomez. You talking about
That's
Wilfredo Gomez?
Wilfredo Gomez.
That's who
Yeah,
y'all
Wilfredo
brought up,
Benitez.
right?
No,
No, he
Wilfredo
said
Benitez.
Benitez. For Wilfredo
Oh, okay,
Benitez is the
okay.
youngest still in the world. He has the world record for being the youngest
Youngest champion
champion
ever.
in history.
17 years old. Yeah, and youngest two
Yeah,
division champion. Let's go further. He was a
yeah.
two division champion by
Yeah, and then he
21.
fought Sugar Ray, but it was a lot of controversy because on the night before that, all the Puerto Ricans that are Puerto Ricans, we all know the story. Sugar Ray Leonard and him went out to dinner with their wives. His girlfriend at the time, Benitez, is Sugar Ray's sister. That was Sugar Ray Leonard's sister that he was
Yeah.
with.
Hmm.
So and Sugar Ray Leonard's sister, while in bed with him that night, said, "Please don't hurt my brother. Like he's family." And
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't think
You said
Benitez fought him the right way. I think Benitez, for some reason, Benitez, to my father passed away, but he went to his grave saying this about that fight. Benitez didn't fight Sugar Ray like he fought everybody else.
yo, you sound like my Uncle Wito, man. God
I
rest
don't
my Uncle
know.
Wito
I
soul,
mean,
I'm
bro.
come on,
saying,
man.
I'm saying,
My uncle,
listen, they went out to
That's the
dinner the night
that's the
before.
tall tale. That's
No,
just like
this is
saying,
a fact, Jack. This is a
okay,
fact.
no, no,
but
yeah, but
that's
I'm gonna
like
be honest with you. Go ahead, I'm
it
sorry. Go ahead.
sounds weird, bro. It sounds weird.
No,
I'm
I
just
know about that story. I still think Ray Leonard. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not gonna go with that. That happened, yes. My Uncle Wito, God rest his soul, he was a Puerto Rican that you couldn't tell him nothing. He swore Bernard Hopkins was on steroids. He swore Benitez beat the fight. He's one of them Puerto Ricans. And I gotta be honest with you. I think Sugar Ray Leonard beats him regardless, bro. Sugar Ray Leonard was a better fighter. As great as Benitez was, all time great, one of the greatest Puerto Ricans, one of the greatest fighters, period. Sugar Ray Leonard was the guy at the end of the day, bro. I'm not gonna go with that. Benitez was great. Ray Leonard was better, bro. That's the bottom line. Could it have been maybe more competitive? And it was still competitive. It was very competitive.
yeah,
It was a close fight up until the knockout. But Sugar Ray Leonard was still better than him. You know, everything Benitez was good
yeah,
at, Ben Leonard was better, with the exception of Benitez had a little bit better defense and head movement. But
yeah.
Leonard was faster than
Another
Benitez.
fight,
Leonard had more power than Benitez. He was more explosive than Benitez. I'm not gonna go with
right?
that, bro. And
Another
I'm Puerto Rican.
another fight that I went back and watched later. That like older guys, like my fathers, my uncles, they drilled it into my head. Nah, he won. Like that Benitez fight was Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Hagler, and all the old heads always said that Marvelous Hagler won that fight. And that's been drilled into my head since I've been a kid. Marvelous won that fight, blah, 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 right? So a few years ago, and even a couple months ago, I'll go back and I'll watch these old fights. And I sat down and I watched that fight. And by the time the fight, the last bell rang, bing, I was like, Sugar Ray Leonard won that fight hands down. He didn't, Marvelous Hagler didn't beat him. And I was like, man, maybe that's the same way I view fights. Like sometimes you could be a prisoner in the moment. You could be hyper focused on one guy. And you don't even know it. Like you think you saw something. Like people with selective hearing, right? I never thought I had selective hearing until I saw myself on video. And then I said, wait a minute, I didn't even hear that guy say that. I didn't even hear this. I go back and I watch the video and I see the video and it's something different. So I've been a victim of that, of having selective hearing and thinking I saw something that I didn't see. You know what I mean? Um, um, I can admit that. I can admit that. So that's why I say when I went back and I watched this fight with Sugar Ray and Marvelous, um, I think Sugar Ray Leonard bounced around them beautifully, and he didn't engage and stand in front of big, flat-footed Marvelous Hagler at the time because Marvelous Hagler was a lot older. If they would have fought that fight 9 years earlier or 10 years earlier, I think it would have been a way better fight and a different one. They were just older. Let's just remember that Sugar Ray Leonard was coming back and he avoided Marvelous Hagler for years. So, but when they finally fought, I think Marvelous was just that much slower. That's all. But he didn't win that fight. in my eyes. And that's one of the moments. That's all. Like these fights back in the day are cool to watch again. You watch it for a second time or third time, and you get a different look at it. Especially if you didn't bet no money on it. So anyway, guys, listen. Terrence Crawford or Saul Canelo Alvarez. Why? Low nose boxing. Why?
Well, here's the thing. I said this a long time ago. I always felt that Canelo Alvarez, even if they were the same size, would beat Terrence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez has a lot of skills. He's being overlooked. He has better head movement. He has better defense. He knows how to cut the ring off better. What I give Terrence Crawford the edge in is footwork, agility, athleticism. He switches up. He's taller. He's longer. Both are great. Both in counter punching. I got to give them both even. Both guys do something that I really like that a lot of old school guys do. When they counter to the body, and what I mean by that is when you counter to the body, it affects the person even more because when you're punching, you're breathing out. You know what I'm saying? When you punch, you breathe out. So when you're getting punched to the body, when you're not breathing out, you can embrace for the punch. But when you're throwing punches and you get hit to the body with counters, it hurts you, it takes the air out. That's how Crawford knocked out what's his name? The guy at 140, the African kid that he Ngando, right?
Right.
Ngando. God forgive me for butchering his name. And he does that
Mgano.
a lot. Even in the Earl fight, he did
Mgano.
a lot of those kind of punches that broke him down. He did it
Right.
with Porter. Canelo does it a lot too. He rolls underneath and hits you to the body. The only guys I seen do that back in the day. That's what Duran did with Davey Moore. He was rolling underneath shots, ripping to the body. The Great Lake Mike McCallum was an expert at that. So these are
Hmm.
things that both Canelo and Crawford do. Both are about even in counter punching. I think Canelo got a better chin. He got better defense. Crawford's faster, he's taller, he's longer. Both are older, but I think Crawford has more left in the tank because he doesn't have as many miles. But I believe overall, it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a close fight. Crawford's going to have his moments. He's going to have more than his moments. But I think at the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez is going to stop him late. Crawford is the type of fighter that has too much dog in him. He kind of reminds me of Terry Norris. He'll get hurt, and he wants to get that
Ah,
get back. He wants that
yeah.
get back. He doesn't have the weak chin that Norris had, but he hits you. Bud moves around, but he doesn't run. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to run and try to survive. I'll be very surprised if he does that. He's going to try to box, but he's going to try to give it his all. And I think somewhere along those lines, I could see him getting caught because he makes defensive mistakes. He keeps his head on the line when he's punching. He pulls straight back. I got Canelo knocking him out late, and I know Canelo hasn't knocked anybody out in a while, but this is a smaller guy moving up in weight. So I got Canelo knocking him out between 8 and 10 rounds, 9,
Yeah.
10, 11 rounds. I got it.
Like right on there. Most of
Yeah.
the fight guys, like the old heads and stuff, like I said this, I was talking with them, and a lot of them won't even make their picks publicly. Trust me, they don't even want to say that shit on camera. But when you turn off the camera and shit, they're all saying that they believe that it's gonna be an accumulation of damage, and Saul's gonna stop Terrence late. It's gonna be like 9, 10, 11, 12, right around there, some shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, a lot of guys think and feel that way. They think that Terrence is gonna be able to perform and look decent, throughout the first 4, 5, 6 rounds, depending on how the pace of the fight is going. If Canelo's really pushing the pace, which he should be at this point, and then really get in Terrence Crawford's body to betray him, where that it's harder for him to get that second wind. The blood going into the muscles and all that acid. Um, his body's not accustomed to moving at that size. At some point in the fight, he's gonna feel like he's in quicksand. He's gonna feel like his body is, um, the one thing that I did pay attention to, right, and I do pay attention to is preparation. Preparation, understanding the mission. And if you have enough time to prepare yourself, you can pull anything off in this world. Yes, you can. Proper training, proper preparation, and the right guy, you can do it. Is Terrence Crawford that man? That's what I'm asking myself. Because I remember, and I know this is going to be to the left. I hate when I have to use these examples of uh um I hate when I have to use these examples of like another sport, because maybe some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about. But Amanda Nunes, she's a UFC women's female champion. She fought against another female champion in Chris Cyborg. Chris Cyborg was a big, big woman, and she couldn't lower a lot of weight. But Amanda was really little. Amanda publicly, before anything happened, what she said was, I'll fight you, but you got to give me 9 months to prepare. And Chris Cyborg said, why do you need 9 months to prepare for me? And Amanda knew something, her training. She knew then, if you give me enough time to prepare, I can beat you. And you know what Amanda did, bro? She walks out there, squares up to the much bigger woman. I mean, she was outgunned. We all knew who Chris Cyborg was. And she looked at and she kicked out her front leg. Whoop. She made her stumble and she knocked the shit out of that girl. Straight knocked her out. And I was like, we were in awe. We were like, and she came up with the proper game plan. She gradually adapted the weight onto her body. She was conditioned. She wasn't second guessing her training. It's the worst thing in a fight is when you gotta second guess what you're doing in the ring. If you're in the ring going, damn, I don't want to throw too many punches because I don't want to gas out. You don't believe in your training. You're not prepared for that fight. But if you can believe in your training and all that other shit's out the window where that you can fight freely and you can initiate your game plan. You can start to execute your game plan. Cause he knows how a big puncher he is. What you think? Jamel, he didn't call Jamel Charlo, Terrence Crawford. What you think? They don't talk? And let's be perfectly honest. Call it what it is. This is Mexico versus US. That's 100%. And to all the people that I saw on some channels say, oh, we can't be saying this is Mexico US thing, blah, blah, blah. No. You're thinking a little too strong. You're taking it a little too far. I'm saying Mexico US because this is exactly what it is. Boxing is worldwide. These people proudly represent their country. Don't take that away from them. Saul represents Mexico proudly. Okay? That is his country. He represents, and this is, boxing is actually like the Olympics. When we compete for our team. You know, we're supposed to be representing America. But when we go pro, it's every man for themselves type shit. You feel me? And that's when it becomes, we have an issue and we start to lose track of, wait a minute. And as a matter of fact, Terrence Crawford, Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis, Shakur Steve, they're all on the same team. They represent America. You know what I mean? But it's a dog eat dog world sport. You know what I mean? Sometimes we lose track of that, you know, in the beauty of representing for your own country. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be the man for Puerto Rico, what that feeling must feel like, you know, and you can't even walk outside and you getting like parades. They're making statues after you type shit, you know, like your name will be live on in forever. Like the how proud I would be. That I've never experienced anything like that. I'm not sure I will, but to the men and women that have, I'm not going to take that away from them and try to make this a racist thing or something. No. You're going too far. But be proud to represent your country. That's all. It's good to have pride. There's nothing wrong with that. So this is Mexico, Puerto Rico. We're going against Japan versus Uzbekistan, right? And did I say that correctly? I don't know. I'm sorry if I didn't. But yeah, you know, it's, you know, Manny, I had no problem with Manny Pacquiao bringing his Filipino flag into the ring. I never had a problem with that. I thought that was cool as shit, you know? So, yeah, it is what it is, man. And tonight I see Canelo Alvarez. My boxing mind tells me that, Edwin, don't be stupid. Look at everything that's going on. You know, no man in history has ever done some crazy shit like this. Roy Jones Jr. did it to a certain level, not to this kind of level. He didn't fight no undisputed freaking 2-time champion in that division, a pound for pound fighter. You know, he didn't do no shit like that. So my boxing educated mind tells me Saul's gonna win this fight. He should. He should win this fight. What would it say to Saul Canelo Alvarez if he loses? To the rest of the boxing people, like that kind of champion lost to a guy coming up. Like when we saw Edgar Berlanga fight Hamza Shari came up one weight division and looked like the bigger man, and he fought like the bigger man. Right? We see Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford at the weigh-in. They step in. They look pretty same size to me.
Yeah, they're the same size, same height.
167, 167 and a half, 167 and a half. There's only one problem here. Saul is a true 167-pound, 168-pound fighter. A true one, where he's already moved up further. He knows what Demetrius Bivens' punches feel like. That kind of power. Who has Terrence Crawford ever got hit by, even by blocking it in a guard, that punch harder than Caleb Plant? How about that? Who punched harder than Caleb Plant than Terrence Crawford ever fought? Who punched harder than Edgar Berlanga? Edgar Berlanga is not a slot. He got 17 first round knockouts. Tell you right now, you put Terrence Crawford in front of Edgar Berlanga and tell Edgar Berlanga to punch him in the face and block it. Let's see how that goes. Saul walked through that shit. And I'm talking about walk through it. He walked through. Jaime Munguia is the only guy that I think Terrence can beat out of all of them, right? Because he'll just outskill him, I think. But like, where's this thing that I say, yeah, fuck that shit. Look, okay, check it out, right? Saul Canelo Alvarez, you got to look at who Saul Canelo Alvarez was or is, right? Remember that 15-year-old redheaded stepchild kid from Mexico that was 15 years old that couldn't get an amateur fight, that they said, fuck that, you're going to turn pro at 15 and you got to fight grown-ass men because he hit so hard at 15 years old. Remember that? Remember the Saul Canelo Alvarez that knocked out everybody and fought his way out of Mexico? You know who that is, right? Remember when every fighter that's ever fought Saul Canelo Alvarez say, I've never been hit like that before. That's what you're dealing with. And then on top of that, the gods want to give this guy a fucking iron chin. You know? You know, like what gave Mayweather so much of his, what gave Mayweather so much of what made him so much of a unique fighter is that the gods were good to him. They gave him cat-like reflexes. They gave him agility. They gave him a gas tank, the stamina. They gave him his footwork. They gave him the knowledge, the ring IQ. They gave him everything. But the boxing gods, just like they give, they don't give. They gave him brittle hands. They made him the best fighter in the world and gave him brittle hands. I mean, the gods got jokes. You know what I mean? They got jokes. You know, they'll give one guy like Roberto Duran the hardest hands in the world and give him the ability not to train. Yeah, like his desire, he can be easily distracted. You know, it's crazy. You know, sometimes, you know, a lot of these fighters are talented and God gifted. I think that Teofimo Lopez is a perfect example of God gifted and talented. Teofimo Lopez is a talented fighter. He doesn't have what I think is like world-class boxing training. Remarkably, Teofimo Lopez did this all basically on skill. He really did. With his father, like, his father's no coach. He ain't no world-class coach. He might have seen the thing, a trick or two, but trust me, Tio ain't never got that kind of training. He's been looking for a real coach, but I don't know, for whatever reason, whether it's his dad, that I know nothing about that. I'm just speaking about his talent, Tio. And look how far Teofimo Lopez has gotten in his boxing career. That's off pure talent. Trust me. I know what I'm looking at. I know the difference between talent and training, and
You
that's
know,
what Tio is.
Tio, man, I think Tio should go train with Robert Garcia's gym.
Well, a lot of
Get
people
some
suggested. I think he
discipline.
should go down to Florida.
With who?
I think he could
Who-
even do good with
Who's in Florida?
huh?
Who's in Florida?
Edgar Berlanga's team there.
Nah, you don't want to
Wait, wait,
go
wait,
with
wait, wait, wait.
Berlanga's
I
team. He's
scratch that. Wait,
losing.
scratch that. Scratch that.
He's
Scratch that.
losing.
Scratch that. Scratch that. Even if he went down to Hector Bermudez's camp in Springfield.
Nah, I don't think so,
Yeah,
man.
no, there's because you know why? That place is a bunch of killers live in that building.
There's no
Bro,
respect though, bro. There's no
he's
respect. There's no respect there because I even heard Bermudez say if one of his fighters does something that he doesn't like, he's gonna slap him. You don't want to train. You don't want to work with a personality like that. You want to go where
well,
there's respect, where there's love. And Robert
well,
Robert Garcia's gym is that way, where they're gonna give you structure. They're gonna give you respect. They're gonna love you. They're gonna help you. They're not gonna talk down on you, diminish you, but they're gonna build you up not only in the boxing ring but in
all right,
life,
listen,
in
Chicago
your
kills. Today it
mindset.
sounds like you need a
You
hug.
know
Listen, sometimes
what
some of
I'm
these
talking about?
motherfuckers need some tough love training and shit. And when he
Nah,
says that, he says he's gonna smack him up with the head. I don't think he actually smacks him. I think he actually makes him run 10 more laps. That's his
yeah, but
definition of a slap or something.
well, look,
Or he's gonna be tough with him because
yeah,
sometimes you
you don't
don't
say that.
need.
You don't say that. You
Yeah,
don't say
yeah,
that
yeah.
on
I mean, that's a
TV.
coach talk. If you're around
You
enough
know,
coaches,
yeah,
you
that's not the right
understand how
kind of
they
coach.
talk.
That's not the right kind of coach. Tio needs somebody
I
who
don't.
is
I'm not gonna
going
say that.
to. He
I
don't
like
need tough
Hector.
love. Tio got a father already. He don't need tough love from a coach. He needs a friend. He needs somebody that's gonna stroke his ego, help him, like Robert Garcia. That's why Robert
You
Garcia is
mean
trainer
you
of the
mean you
year.
want to stroke Teofimo Lopez's ego, that his ego needs to be checked from all the shit he's been saying.
No,
He needs to get kicked off that little high horse he was
no,
on, right? And
not
you
by a
mean you
coach.
want to encourage this?
A coach is gonna train you boxing. He got a father. He's a man, bro.
Okay,
Well, you
okay.
gotta respect these
When
guys
you
that
walk into the gym, right? Here's the difference. Right? When the fighter walks into the gym and he says, "Coach, man, I can't train today. I got a stomach ache." What your coach hears is, "Man, coach, I'm a bitch." When you come in, "Yo, coach, man, I can't train because I left my mouthpiece at home." What your coach hears is, "Damn, coach, I'm a bitch." When you go and you say, "Yo, coach, man, somebody, my girl's cousin's father died, and I gotta go to, support." What your coach hears is, "Hey, coach, I'm a bitch." You don't
Tio
need
is
a coach.
already proven.
You don't need a coach that's
It's
gonna be
different.
like, "Hey, yeah, consulting."
No,
Yo,
no, no.
you need that tough shit, bro, my
Wrong
man.
one.
Sometimes we need it. We
This is.
need it.
Am I breaking up? Can you hear me? I
Yeah,
think I'm
you were
breaking
breaking
up.
up a little bit, but yeah.
Damn, man. I don't know why I always be breaking up. No, but what I'm saying is, and I know you like Coach Bermudez, and you like, he's from the East Coast. He's mean. He's aggressive. He's strict. He's stern. Not everybody likes that bullshit, bro. When you're a grown man, you don't want to fucking come in and this motherfucking guy's talking down on you. You don't. You're a professional. Tio is already above that. He needs a person like Robert Garcia, bro. That's why Robert Garcia, trainer of the year. Ramirez ain't no trainer of the year. Robert
Well,
Garcia got champs, bro, champions,
yeah, but Robert
proven,
Garcia got
proven,
trainer of the year because he was winning.
and he was a champion himself
Yeah, that
in the
doesn't have
ring.
nothing to do with your award as
Uh
trainer of the year.
no, but it has everything to do with your personality and how you treat people, and
Well,
the struggles of what it takes.
I
Bermudez
tell
is
you
a good
what.
coach. Don't get me wrong, but T.O. is not going to flourish with Bermudez. Just like he didn't do good in Canelo's camp with Reynoso. It's a little too strict. He needs and plus, Robert Garcia got top fighters. T.O. is going to get
I
top
mean, he's got a
sparring.
big fucking stable there. Yeah, he does. He's got one of
Gonna
the
get,
biggest stables,
bro. He's going to
if
get some
not the
top
biggest.
sparring. But yeah, I mean Tio's dad, that's his dad, bro. He's done really good. If anybody's gonna put Tio in check, it's gonna be his father. And I'm sure his father does do that. He puts him in check. Tio's a good son. He's a good kid. He's a good man. My thoughts on the Bud Canelo, Bud's a beast, bro. He ain't gonna get stopped. Canelo's not gonna stop him. He's not gonna TKO him. Bud ain't gonna quit. Bomac ain't gonna throw in the towel. But I see Tio just kind of beating him up for 12 rounds. Canelo, I think, with Bud's reach, he thinks he has a longer reach. I think that's gonna be a detriment because he's gonna throw that jab out there and Canelo's gonna duck under, he's gonna, like you were saying, he's gonna kill the body. He's gonna kill the body, he's gonna open up the head. But Canelo, he shows mercy. So I feel like Canelo's gonna know that he's getting the best and he can get the best.
Stop.
And
Stop.
he's gonna show him a little mercy, bro. Well, hold
Stop.
on, Rob. Well, let me finish.
No,
How you
no,
just
no,
gonna
no. Stop
interrupt?
right there. Canelo
What are
shows
you
mercy
talking
to
about?
who?
Come on, bro. Look, Canelo, he has
To
a good
who?
heart. He has a good heart, bro.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What
And
is wrong with you? Did you take some
bro,
sentiment pills today?
do you not know like the human
Did
mind?
you did you lose your dog?
Bro,
Did you get
this
stranded
is
on the road? Did your girl just leave you? What's really going on right now?
what? Listen,
Bro, you're
bro.
like this
Listen.
fucking
Look,
you really need a hug right now. Like
you gotta
you're not
listen.
soft as shit, bro. What are
You
you
gotta listen
doing?
to understand, round one.
Nah,
Listen to
whoa,
understand.
whoa, 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 yo, my man, like,
So
yo,
look,
Chicago kills. You got kills in your name, and
yeah,
right now, you're throwing out pillows and soft kisses. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck is wrong with you,
So
like, right now?
listen to my analogy. You
Okay,
understand it. You understand. So the way Canelo fights is, everybody says he doesn't get a lot of knockouts. He can if he wanted to, right? If he push the pace a little bit. Ryan Garcia said his aggression isn't there. So Canelo is okay with winning a fight convincingly and not necessarily knocking his opponent out or punishing his opponent. Because Canelo, look, bro, Canelo has kids. Canelo has a
all
great
right,
life.
Chicago, I
He
got it.
doesn't want to see.
All right,
Yeah,
all right. I try to let you land this
can you hear
plane.
me?
You haven't really landed it. You're in the air like this. So let me help you out with this real quick. All
Well,
right,
you're
first of all,
impatient, round one. You're
oh,
impatient. You're not letting me
I know,
land the
I know, I,
plane.
I know, I know, I know, I know. Hold on.
Yeah,
Slow
it's
down,
only
slow
me
down.
and you on here.
I
There's
know,
no
I know,
rush.
I know.
Because
Okay,
what
but
I'm trying to
wait.
tell you, it takes time. It has to simmer, right? It
Okay.
can't
I'm
just
gonna let you
run.
simmer in a second. I'm gonna let you put on the
Yeah.
Slow cook for you.
Go ahead.
Hold
Slow
up,
cook me.
brother.
Yeah, I'm a slow cooker right now.
Okay,
Just
hold
cooking
on,
pot.
brother. Okay, hold on, brother. Check this out. First of all, Canelo can't get no knockout that he can't get. That's a fucking lie, right? Um, and the reason why he hasn't been getting knockouts is because as you get further in your career, more people have film on you. They study you more. So the fights are supposed to be harder, not easier. He doesn't have ability. You act like he has a button where he can just press and knock out anybody he wants, but that he shows mercy and allows him to go 12 rounds. Canelo doesn't get paid for overtime. If it was up to him, he'd knock everybody out in the first round. So your little theory is that falls apart. Then another thing is Canelo Alvarez doesn't show mercy to nobody but Mexican fighters like Jaime Munguia. He showed him mercy because he didn't want to knock another Mexican out, but he didn't show Edgar Berlanga no love. He tried to rip his head off for 12 rounds. He tried to knock out Edgar Berlanga. He tried to knock out Caleb Plant. He tried. So your little theory about him being nice to fighters because he wants it. No, he's in a sport where he's trying to rip your head off and you're talking about fucking being kind. So
Well, you
that's
just
out the
said it right
window.
there.
So
He's in
that's
a
out.
sport.
So that's out the window because
He's in
this
a
is
sport.
competitive. It's win
He's a
or go home.
professional. He's a
So
professional, bro.
right. A
Yeah.
professional that wants to rip your head off. That's what we're doing. We're not playing tennis. So anyway, that's out the window. Okay. I've
Well,
never
you're
seen
you're
Canelo Alvarez in my life. And I've never agreed to this. I don't know where you're coming from with this. I've never seen him show mercy the way you describe it and compassion towards other fighters and the kind of respect you talk about. I've never seen him show that to not one fighter in his entire career. Never.
well. It equates to you beating
He is
somebody
one of the
up.
most cockiest, arrogant men.
No, he's not. No,
He
he's not.
says, you know, when
He's
they
not.
ask him interviews, hey, Canelo, what do you feel about this? I don't give a fuck. All you want
Yo,
is payday. And you're no good. And you ain't nothing. And oh, you think you're gonna beat me? Huh? He is arrogant.
That's only because
He's
he's.
never ever. I've find me an interview
Let's
where
have a
Canelo.
conversation, Ron. One a conversation, a back and forth conversation here,
Okay, hold up. Find me
not an
one
argument. So
Okay,
here,
wait.
look.
Find
Let me
one.
let me kind of
Go ahead.
intervene and kind of hit some of those points because
Okay.
you're doing a lot. So first, when you said that he doesn't get paid for overtime,
Nope.
everybody says that, bro. That's dumb because he
No, that
already
is
got paid.
true.
Look, he already got paid. This is
That
he's not working a 9 to 5, so you can't use that analogy because there is no overtime. So look, what I'm saying is
so you want to go 12 rounds? Is what you're saying?
Canelo just started speaking English. He speaks Spanish. He comes from Mexico. The culture out there is based on respect. Okay, there's
Huh?
love in the culture, in the Mexican culture. You
Well, yeah,
know,
of course.
so this is where I'm coming from. You could beat somebody, right? You're in a sport. You already got paid. We have families.
No, you
Everybody's
don't. You
look
don't
at
make
it
a
this way.
situation.
No,
You're
look, look,
lying.
look.
Don't
Look
lie,
at it
please.
this way.
Don't lie.
Look at
You
it this
can't
way.
say that.
This
You
is not
can't
a
say
lie.
that.
This is
That's a
not a
lie.
lie.
That's a lie. Don't do
Not a
that.
lie,
I
bro.
can't let you come on the show and lie. First of all,
All right,
he
you're not
left Oscar.
Ness, bro. You're
Wait.
not Ness. Relax,
Okay,
relax. Calm down.
wait.
This is
Okay, we're gonna have a conversation. We have to have a conversation, right? When you come on the show and you say to me, he already got paid. Hold up. Saul, that was the biggest problem. That's the reason why he left Golden Boy. That's the reason why he left Ed Hearn. Because none of his purses were guaranteed. I'm gonna let you back in. Hold on. None of his purses were guaranteed. That was one of biggest Saul Canelo Alvarez's biggest pet peeves that he already wasn't paid. The only person that was paying him guaranteed money and the checks were already in the mail was Turkey Al Sheikh. And that's why he decided to end his career with him. So when you're giving all these things like these comfortable theories of no, he was fighting good because back then when he was paid, and no, he still says that Oscar De La Hoya owes him money to this day. He even sued him in court. So how dare you come on here and paint it like it was easy for Saul? No, it wasn't. There was no guarantee money, and that's what messes with these fighters. If it does not say guarantee on the contract, you don't get paid until after the fight. So why are you saying this, Chicago Kills?
Can you hear me, round one?
Yes,
I
go.
um I got disconnected, so I I,
Yeah,
I
I
probably
know. Go
missed a
ahead.
lot of
Just
what you said.
answer. Go ahead. Let it keep
So
the show.
okay, so back on my train of thought. Um so I believe okay, I know Canelo's gonna win. Right. I just don't see Canelo getting a T. I don't see him wanting to punish Bud. I just don't see that from Canelo. Although he can. I just see Canelo wanting to outbox Bud. I see him hurting him to the body. Um, Canelo's in better shape. Looks like he's in better shape than Bud right now. Bud looks good. He looks big. He looks like he put on weight. His stomach looks a little bit soft. His abs weren't there at the weigh-in like they were previously in those pictures, but Canelo's abs were still there. So I think he's gonna duck under the jab. He's gonna counter to the body. He's gonna hook to the head. He's gonna dance around. He's gonna get in his rhythm. He's not looking for a knockout punch. He's looking for a precise placed punch landing on the chin. If it knocks him out, it knocks him out. But I feel like if he hurts Crawford, I think Canelo's going to let him recover a little bit. I don't think he's going. You know what? If he does hurt, if he doesn't get him to quit or get a TKO, I think it's going to be with body shots. I don't think it's going to be headshots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're having a conversation, right?
Sorry, I love you, bro.
Well, yeah, I love you too. Yo, check it out. We're having a conversation. So,
Yes, sir.
the problem with this is this, right? You keep saying you think that if Crawford was to get, I mean, Canelo was to get Crawford hurt, that he would like ease up. Let me explain something to you, son. Right? Floyd Mayweather didn't ease up on Canelo when he took his O away. Canelo Alvarez is going to retire out of the sport, not undefeated, not like our guy, because the USA took away that O from Mexico once upon a time. Now, USA has once again created another undefeated fighter in Terrence Crawford. And once again, Mexico has an opportunity to stop him from walking out the door undefeated. And all of a sudden, in the fight, your analogy says that if he gets him hurt, he doesn't want to hurt him. He doesn't want to embarrass a champion like that. You're thinking he respects him. Saul doesn't respect Terrence Crawford in no way. He doesn't respect the guy that's coming for his kingdom. Why should you? I'm a king. I have all 4 belts. Any man that dares to challenge me, the gloves are off. We're
Mercy.
cool after the fight. We're cool
Mercy,
after. And it's not personal. But as for the build-up
Yeah.
and everything, I will show you no love trying to invade my castle.
It's
You're trying to
mercy.
take away from me. Listen, how many times has a competitor or someone, or I'm asking you if you ever done this,
Yeah.
where you learn very early in your young career when you did have compassion, when you did feel like you were winning and this guy, and all of a sudden the motherfucker slipped away and ended up winning the game because you want to fuck around and leave him around long enough. You want to show compassion and shit, and you want to be like, oh, let your foot off the gas. What happened to the turtle and the rabbit when the rabbit stopped because he was so fast and the turtle won the race, slow and steady, right? Isn't that what it preaches you? You need to learn to shut your emotions off when you're competing. It's not about respect or showing respect. It's about the victory. And sometimes you got to bite an ear off or two to win.
Well, I'm talking about Canelo.
And I'm talking about
I'm not
Canelo.
talking. Yeah,
I
I'm not
don't
talking
think,
about
I
like
don't know where you see this compassion from
other.
the man.
Well, I'm not talking about other sports or other boxers or people or
Okay,
wrestling in the streets and
why do
stuff
you
like
see
that.
so much compassion in this guy?
Well, because man, that's the way he is. He's
No, he's
so
not.
my
I've
thing
never seen what
is,
you're talking about. Please
yeah,
prove it to me.
so it kind of equates to you're, let's say you got a fight on the street and you're beating dude up, you knock him to the
No, just
floor.
give me one example where
Yeah.
Canelo has shown in the sport of boxing that you're talking about, because you're not talking about any other sport. You're not
Okay.
talking about a street fight, according to you. Yeah, I can't use no example. So just please show me a time in boxing where he emphasized compassion, empathy, um,
Mhm.
um, something to the effect where someone he was not where he was sitting in an interview and he was just freely talking about boxing with no fighter in front of him. Not an interview. I'm talking about a matchup. And because that's what we're
Okay,
talking
yeah.
about. You're telling me in the
I'll give you a
ring with
couple
Terrence Crawford that if he
fights.
has him hurt, he's going to show him compassion?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go for the. I don't think he's gonna go for the kill shot. I think he's gonna let him survive a little bit because in Canelo's mind, he's already won. Why does he want to kill you? He's not. That's the way he is. I
Why
think
does he
that
want to kill you? This
for
is reason
him,
why. Okay, this is the reason why. The reason why he wants to kill him because he wants to show that Mexican boxing is the best boxing in the world by beating a
but we
decorated
already
you.
know. We
No,
already
no,
know that
no,
in
you
a
don't.
fight where Canelo's dominating, he gets his opponent hurt.
This
See,
guy.
this is
Okay,
why
Chicago kills.
Canelo's the greatest. This is why Canelo's the
All
greatest.
right, Chicago kills. Listen,
Yeah.
apparently you live under a rock. I'm sorry, right?
Well,
Because Mexico boxing is not better than U.S. boxing. We got like
well,
300 and something belts more than you. You guys are not even close. So let's just keep it honest. You're technically you really shouldn't even be on the playing field with USA. If you want to be honest, we're just living in a moment in time in this era with this one guy. That's actually what you're talking about, right? Okay? Because anything other than that, you don't have a fucking string to stand on.
look,
Okay?
when you look at the big
No,
fights,
no, 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 no,
Mexico's
no,
always
no, no,
beaten
no,
Puerto
no, no, no.
Rico.
I'm
Mexico
talking
has
here.
always beaten
I am
Puerto Rico.
talking. I am talking. Now,
Mexico's always beaten Puerto Rico
listen.
in the
I
big
am
fights.
talking. I am
I
talking.
got you, Brown
All
One,
right,
but I'm letting
listen.
you know.
So,
And
so,
Mexico's
so,
always beaten Puerto Rico.
yeah, we know this. Okay, and we beat
Yeah,
them
we know
too.
this. We know
Okay,
this.
look.
We know
So what
this.
I'm
And
saying to you is,
who's the rival of
hold up,
America?
hold
Who's the
up.
rival of America? Is Mexico.
No, it's the UK.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's
No, it's not.
UK.
No,
It's
it's
the
not.
UK. So
No, it's not.
anyway,
Mexico beats the UK. It's
okay,
America and Mexico. Best
okay,
boxers, like
okay.
soccer. Like soccer.
Next week, it's going to
Yes.
be Japan. And the week after that, it's going to be Poland. And the week
Well,
after that, it's going to be Russia.
Your guy got to get through this is Uzbekistan Russian dude first.
He's got to, and then Japan's got to do that. Right. Okay. Opposing countries. We all know this in boxing.
We all know this. Bam Rodriguez, who's Mexican, is going to come.
No.
Anyway,
so is that I got to get you off your high horse.
I'm not on a high horse.
You're on this horse that's so high that you think that Saul is like the best boxer in boxing when he's not.
Well, what did Floyd do? Floyd wasn't killing people, knocking them out when he got
Floyd's the best, period. Don't even bring Floyd's because you're going to lose. Floyd is the best.
Canelo can't be on that same level?
No, he's not. He's already kicked out of the room. He's off the ship. Because Canelo's been knocked out, and that's what I'm talking about. That's because, look, that's just like saying Manny Pacquiao's in the room with Floyd. That's absurd. He beat him. You're out. If you get tagged, you're it. That's it. You can't come back into the game. Once you lost, because you put your O up against his O. No one asked you to do that. The second you did that, you said that yours was better than mine. And guess what happened? You lost.
Hey, but you
no, wait, I'm not done talking. Hold on.
Okay. Let me respond. Let me respond.
No. You're not giving me an opportunity to talk. I can't let you do this. Okay, now that I muted him. First of all, what you're saying is that Canelo already knows he's the best fighter in the world. That's absurd. Because Terence Crawford's undefeated. And he has 2 divisions, all 4 belts. Saul never did that. So how could you even say that Canelo is a better accomplished fighter than Terence? So Chicago Kills, what you're saying is full of shit. I got to knock you off this high horse. Apparently, you think that Mexican boxing is the fucking best next 6 things since sliced bread. You're being real biased. Right? Because no, he's not. Canelo, as a matter of fact, if Canelo loses to Terence Crawford, when all the people say, and they're talking all this shit about, if Canelo loses, it won't affect his legacy. That's a fucking lie. If Terence Crawford loses, it won't affect them. They don't need each other. No, they don't need each other to cement their legacy, but it will affect their legacy. Okay? Just like Saul Canelo Alvarez is not going down as one of the best boxers in boxing, he's been dethroned twice. Floyd Mayweather and Demetrius Bivol both beat him. You're a 2-time loser. And you saying, a loss shouldn't define you. No, it really shouldn't. But it puts you in a different room, in a different conversation. You can be great in this room with the rest of the guys that lost. We'll judge you among the guys that lost, and you might be one of the best out of them. But the guys that left the undefeated, the Mayweathers, the Andrew Wards, they're in a different room, in a different conversation. Saul is not in that room. You have to be undefeated to be in here to talk with us. We're in a different room. You're not there. But guess who's coming in? Terence Crawford. Here he comes. Oh, wait a minute. It's Saul's job to stop that shit. If I don't retire undefeated, neither do you. And Saul's going to go in there and rip his head off. There's no way that I see that Saul's going to show this guy mercy. And then on top of it, Saul's been criticized by all the Mexicans that he hasn't been getting a knockout. And the minute he's about to get a knockout, Saul's going to let him off the hook. This guy's crazy. And then the name of the knockout. You mean to tell me that Saul's going to pass up on the opportunity of knocking out the one and only Bud Crawford? Not only do you take his O, you beat the guy that has 2 division all 4 belts. You knocked out that kind of champion. And you stopped him from retiring from being undefeated. And he's going to have compassion and sympathy for that. He's going to allow not to knock out Saul Canelo Alvarez. I'm about to unmute you, let you come back and talk, right? And because no one can hear you, but Chicago, what are you doing this morning? You're crazy. You think that Saul Canelo Alvarez's career among Mexican warriors and fighters is cemented? Brother, there are Mexican legends that are fighting against Saul right now to go down as one of the greatest Mexican fighters, his own people. I don't know how do you see in your own head and where in your own world you already stamped him the greatest Mexican fighter to ever live. The Julio says you better look at the Jesus. There's so many Mexican legends that don't agree with this. A lot. So that's not even me to say. That's for y'all to work out. That's you guys' fighter. That's your guy. If you guys don't want Saul, we'll take him. Shit, shit. Like that man is highly decorated. You guys should be proud of that man. Mexico, they should be proud of him. But unfortunately, I mean, I think he's starting to get. You see Saul puts himself in a crazy situation because I truly believe even in the win, he's not going to get the credit from the Mexican guys. Not like Chicago Kill is talking. They're not. They're gonna say, bro, you brought up a small guy 3 divisions up. You're always doing this. Saul, you always did this. You went up, moved up, jumped up, moved up for small guys. You've done this your whole career. Here it is, once again, fighting another small guy. And you want us, the Mexican Warriors, to validate that you fought some fucking great. No, they dressed him up real good. Saul, once again, you're up to your old shit. And you know, like I don't know. I don't know. Are the Mexican legends right? I don't know. That I don't know, bro. You know, but Chicago Kills. Tell me.
Yo, man, you're killing me over here with muting me, bro. That looks
I
weird.
had to because you don't let me in.
What you
You
mean? I
don't
don't
let
say
me
nothing.
in.
I'm trying to get.
Where is
I'm trying to
Chicago?
get
You
in.
don't let me in, Chicago. You
I know this
don't.
is your show, round one. I respect you. I love you, man. You're a good guy, and
I
I
love you.
think you're gonna beat the shit out of OC. I got you. I got your back.
All right.
But
I
look,
still
man,
love you guys.
you're my Latin brother, bro. I respect you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, my, I kind of want to go back on this. You said Canelo Floyd. Canelo lost to Floyd, so
This
but there were
rivalry is going on for a
circumstances.
long time between
Yeah,
Mexico and US.
well, there are
Well,
circumstances. He was Canelo was young and this and that, and you even said yourself
no,
when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Wilfredo Gomez or Benito Gomez.
Benitez. Benitez.
Their circumstance was they went out to dinner.
Well, he
So
was
come on,
dating his
man.
sister, bro. They was
There's
family. They family.
circumstances.
They
So let's
family.
just yeah, but there's circumstances. Okay, so
Well,
off of that subject, because I kind of got you on that. You know what I
Sugar
mean?
probably beat him. He was probably a better fighter, dog. He's probably a better fighter, man.
I think my phone's gonna start breaking up.
He's a better fighter.
Um,
So anyway, go ahead.
yeah, I just so Canelo's the type of person that's like, look, I could beat you, I'm beating you, I don't have to knock you out. And that's just his personality, bro. That's just his
No, no, no,
personality.
no. I'm glad you
And
brought that up. I'm glad you
yeah,
brought that up. Canelo Alvarez knows how to manage a fight. What he does is he comes out round 1, 2, and 3. He sets the tone of the fight. 4, 5, and 6, he takes over the fight. He puts you in a situation where that now he's up on the scorecard and he can fight off the back foot and you got to come into him. He does this. He's been doing this at the last parts of his fight, like the last 10 or so, 6, 7 fights. And that's doing part of mastering your craft. I can see that that's all hard work and dedication, all led. He's shaving his fighting style down. He's no longer using that extra movement. He understands more about fighting than the average fighter, and that's why it looks that way. And then he starts to fight off the back foot and invite you to come in. And if you come through that door, he's going to hurt you. That's why most men, when they get in that situation, they realize Canelo Alvarez has managed the fight well. And it's up to you to make a mistake now. Go ahead and walk through that door. Canelo would have knocked those guys out, but he was already winning. I get the viewpoint that you're getting, but the why, those were beautiful performances by Saul. That was up to you. If you let Saul get up 6, 7 rounds on you, now you had to pressure him, and he understood that. That's just years of fucking. That's why these fighters at the end they look like this, because they've already shaved off. That's that's when you're a master at your craft. Don't you understand that real skill comes with very little effort? It's gonna
Mm.
look simple, and you're not gonna understand it. You're gonna like, man, that was simple. No, that was fucking 25 years of in the gym to be able to come out and do that simple shit. That's what
Well,
that
that
is.
yeah, that kind of leads me to my point. You're kind of Canelo is so much above Bud's skill level that Canelo's gonna be like, damn, I'm above this guy. I don't need to punish him like that. And that's how I see it. Canelo's at a level where he's great already. And you bring up Ward. I don't think. I mean, yeah, he was undefeated, but Ward, even Ness, Ward was boring. His fighting style, yeah, he was undefeated, but like Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather is 50-0, but Julio Cesar Chavez was like 60-0,
No,
but he
he was
kept
like
fighting.
89-0 before he lost his
Right, and then he lost
90th
to
fight. What
De
are you
La
talking
Hoya.
about?
Or so I mean, look, man, I'm excited for tonight. I cannot wait. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a
that you
great night
see,
of
you see,
boxing.
it's not just about the O. The O has something to do with it. The O plays just 25% out of the 100% equation. That's 25% of the equation. The other 25% is that it happened with Mexico and US. The
Yeah.
other 25% of the equation till you get to 100% of what's going on behind the scene between US and Mexico in the last 25, 30 years. In the last 25, 30 years, Mayweather made a run. You got to understand that Mayweather beat all the top Mexicans, and I'm talking every one of them. I'm talking from Robert Garcia to the Robert Guerrero to the Oscar De La Hoya to the Canelo Alvarez. And for anybody to say that young 24, 3-year-old Canelo Alvarez, yo, he was battle tested. He was a multiple division world champion. How much better do you want him to be? He already had 33 professional fights at the time when he came in to fight Mayweather at the ripe age of 36 years old. Canelo Alvarez would have never beat Saul, not today, not tomorrow, not back then, not next week, and probably not in another life. He just never was going to beat Floyd. There's no version of Saul that can beat that man. Hey, why don't you just admit someone was better than you and will always be better than you? That's it.
I, the Canelo right now would beat Floyd.
Never, never, not.
Yes,
Well, if you maybe if you shot
yes.
Floyd with a gun in the leg and you
No,
blindfold him, you tied one hand behind his back, I could see him beating him. Yeah, you're right. But
with the
not
defense
in
that
this
Canelo
life.
has right now,
Never,
yeah,
never.
the IQ.
There's not a style of Saul. There's never been a style of Saul. Not a version, not a fight that you can convince me that he can beat the weakest version or the weakest fight Mayweather ever performed in.
No, the Saul right now
Would
fighting the
never beat
Floyd,
Floyd. I know that.
fighting the Floyd that Saul fought when he was 23 would beat Floyd.
Never, never,
I think he would.
never, never. I would
I
never
think he
believe
would.
that he doesn't. He doesn't have no. Listen, Floyd has such an arsenal against Saul's arsenal, his footwork, his IQ, his thinking. There's no version of Saul that beats any version of Floyd. It's just Floyd was you. I don't think you understand. I think you're under the assumption that you have the ability to finally beat the person that always beats you. And sometimes in life, it's not like that. That person is just better than you, and he will
Well,
always be better
yeah.
than you.
I
You're
mean,
not on that person's level.
he
No
was
matter how
missing.
much you train, no matter how many hours you put in, what do you think? He's going to stop putting in hours in training? No, you got to give him them same hours and same training. Mayweather would have been a fucking super saiyan. No matter what level you put Saul on, if you would have put him in the same time frame, Mayweather would always be better than him, bro. That's just a
Well,
fact.
Canelo's timing in that fight was
I
off.
don't care about his timing. Floyd's
And what do you
he's
mean?
never gonna hit Floyd. Did you see? Do know in boxing history and out of all Saul Canelo Alvarez's fights,
He was head hunting. He
astonishingly.
was head hunting in that Floyd fight.
Okay, wait a minute. I don't care what your excuse is. You're never going to
just letting you know.
convince me there's not even a version of Saul that would ever beat any weak version of Floyd.
I beg to differ.
Never.
Yes.
Never. Saul is not that kind of fighter. He's never shown to be that fighter. And there's not a fight you could point out that says, oh,
who you
yeah,
got?
you're right.
You got Bud or Floyd?
All you have is an opinion.
You think Bud could beat Floyd?
Now you're changing the goalpost.
No, I'm asking you a question. Do you think Bud could beat Floyd?
Nowhere in his career could Bud beat Floyd. No.
So you think Canelo could beat Floyd if they fought right now?
Nope.
You think Bud could beat Floyd if they fought right now?
I don't think none of the fighters today can beat Floyd, to answer your question. No. Floyd was that good.
In the shape Floyd's in right now. Okay.
Not the shape. Now you want to fucking make crazy
no,
shit.
I'm just saying, like right now.
Okay. Check this out. Floyd proved that already. He answered your question, but you just won't allow it to happen. You want him to be older and older and older until you get into a point in the conversation where you win, right? But Floyd already did that for you because he came at 36 years old and spanked your 23-year-old champion like nothing. In fact, in that fight, yes, if you allow me to finish talking, Saul Canelo Alvarez, to this day, he missed 3 times the amount of punches in the Floyd Mayweather fight. He has never done that in his career against no other opponent, which shows you the superior fighter that is Floyd Mayweather. He couldn't touch the man. He couldn't touch him.
The reason I asked that question was because a lot of people were saying that Bud could beat the Floyd right now, but
that's just people that didn't see Floyd. That's just young people. I chalk that to youngness, being young. Yeah, because if you really take your time and you go back and you watch Floyd Mayweather's career when both his hands were together, he was a monster. He was brutalizing everybody, knocking everybody out. Then he broke his hand 16, 17 times. He did all that surgery, went to Japan. He had took the 2-year layoff and had that crazy surgery done to both of his hands out in Japan. When he comes back, he fights Marquez, and, in the rest is history, whatever. Floyd changes his fighting style to be this more elusive, evading fighter. He came up with 2 creative fighting styles and was dominating in both of them. He had like 2 different eras, Floyd Mayweather. Right? But if you put Floyd Mayweather up against any of these guys in their prime and stuff, like, unfortunately, you gotta go back and watch how Floyd was. His father told him, and a lot of people told him, and Roy Jones told him, and George Foreman told Floyd Mayweather, you gotta slow down, dude. You can't be this dominant. Okay, because if you don't allow people to hit you, you're not going to sell tickets because you're just too much high risk reward. So, and then in one of the fights trained by Roger Mayweather in New York, the guy that wore those leopard shorts, that's the first time you ever seen Floyd Mayweather bleed out his nose. And that was the last time because Roger told him, Floyd, you need to let him hit you. I've never heard of a fighter that fucking fast, that quick, that he had to let people hit him. Because if you allow Floyd to go in there and just be himself, it was a one-sided event, just like on your boy Saul. That was one-sided. My man actually didn't win 1 round. In reality, he didn't win 30 seconds of a round. That's the truth. When Floyd wanted to really show his superiority, he was levels, and I mean levels, above everybody. When Floyd was faking it, and he needed people to think, wait a minute, look what this guy did. He hit him. He staggered Floyd. Oh, shit. Maybe somebody can beat him. And he tricked all of these people into thinking there was a chance. There was never a chance.
Shoot, and I've
never seen nobody on his level at that time.
I think De La Hoya beat Floyd when I seen that fight.
Yeah, right. Go watch it again and come back to me.
And I
Don't
did
watch that
watch it
shit.
again a couple weeks ago, and I was like,
Yo,
damn, Daryl Hoyer did.
Floyd,
He threw
Floyd
more punches.
allowed,
He was more active.
he
He was
allowed,
landing.
yo, that was such a comical fight when like Dito, man, when Oscar was like getting out his combinations, his best moments in the fight. Go back and watch it. I remember when Floyd would like grab the back of his head like this with the glove and spin him and look into the crowd, and he would smirk and smile like he was letting the crowd know, like, Indito, I'm letting him get it off, like, because Floyd, that was the era where that. Remember, he's coming off that disrespectful argument with that famous commentator. Floyd, if I was 50 years younger, you say it. You want to fight Oscar? Like they was trying to bait him into it. So Floyd knew he had to win that fight, but he had to show mercy,
And
right?
Canelo can't do the
And
same with Bud.
and he showed mercy to Oscar. He
So
showed
it's
him
not
a
the same with
lot.
Canelo and Bud.
He showed him a lot, bro.
Okay. So that's my point with Canelo and Bud, and I baited you in round one. The
No,
mercy aspect of it.
no,
Canelo and
I
Bud.
baited you
Canelo's
in.
gonna show Bud
He ain't
mercy.
showing him shit because he's not
I
Floyd.
baited you in, bro. I
He's not that
baited you
good,
in. You
and
see
he's
how I
not
did
that
that? You
good.
see how I did that?
Nope.
I'm a bit. I'm master with this.
Yeah, but
Masterful.
you fell
You
into
made
my
my
trap.
point. You made my point because I trapped you thinking that you were gonna
How'd
trap
you
me,
trap me?
and I trapped you because you just said that Floyd turned around
Wow.
De
Say
La
it. Say it.
Hoya,
Say it. Finish.
right?
Come
And
on.
that Floyd was mocking him, saying, "Look how better I am. I'm showing him mercy." And you don't
Right.
think Canelo is gonna do that with
Okay.
Bud?
First of
So
all, you're the
there's a
type of
double
person.
standard. There's a
Hold on.
double
Hold on.
standard. You're a double
Hold on. Check it out.
standard, baby.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it
Double
out. Check it out. Check
standard
it out.
round one.
You're okay. Okay. You're the type of person that could be in the trap, inside the trap, looking out, saying, "Ah, I got you right where I want you." Right? Because you're trapped. Right? You're gonna have to gnaw off your own leg to get out of this. Right? Okay. Look. Check this out. In order to show another fighter mercy,
Oh, bro.
you would also have to be a superior fighter showing the mercy of an undefeated fighter. How could Saul Canelo Alvarez prove mercy to Terrence Crawford when he's a two-time loser?
Because Canelo's gonna
Huh?
hurt him. So
Huh?
the whole
Huh?
argument was we both think that Canelo's gonna win, but you think that Canelo is
Oh,
gonna
I
get the
didn't say we
stoppage,
both
right?
think. Who said that? Don't put me in your shit. I have
So
an
you're not
opinion
going
still.
for
I haven't
Canelo,
gave my opinion.
but you're making wait, hold on, bro. Now you're
Yeah.
retracting because this whole
No, what you
time you're
mean
going for
retracted?
Canelo.
Where do you have me picking Canelo? Where?
This whole conversation is
No,
you picking
no,
Canelo.
no. No, I said my
Oh God,
boxing mind says, see, you have selective hearing. I was talking about that
no.
shit. I said the whole time, my boxing mind tells me, Edwin, don't fall asleep behind the wheel
Wait,
here.
you said you're leaning. You said you said Canelo.
No,
So for the record, who you picking? It's already Saturday morning. What are you gonna wait till round three? Come on,
I was actually waiting until like the end of the fight to pick the winner.
you fucking guy. Who you from Boston? Who you from Boston? Who you from fucking
Yo,
Providence, Rhode Island and shit? What the fuck?
listen. No, I like both guys, bro. I like Saul and I like Terrence. I don't want to really pick against neither of them. I want
Yeah.
Saul to win, but I also want Terrence to win. I understand what Terrence as a fighter and all the shit, and like, because I follows his career a lot, and I see like Terrence should be in a better situation in his career. He had to like sue his promotional company. He was fucking going, and then all the Corona epidemic, which affected 2 years of every boxer's life. Imagine where Saul would be without 2 years of Corona. You know what I mean? So I get it. I get some of these situations in boxing and stuff. So I can't go against Saul, bro, because Saul gave me too much. Like as Latin people, like I cheered Saul on for years, man. Like he gave me too many nights in my living room, like cheering for the man. And Terrence Crawford he gave me the same thing. The way he fights the American slick style, I like to see that. So he switches lefty and righty when he was younger. These guys, I grew up with these guys in boxing as I was covering and shit, and I like them both. But sometimes our champions and our legends got to clash.
Yeah.
you know, and but I'm not on the line that any of these guys are going to show each other mercy. I think that there's a lot of history behind US Mexico boxing. I think that Mexico will try to rip our US heads off if they got the opportunity, and rightfully so. I don't want him to show him any respect. I want him to finish Terrence if he gets the opportunity, because damn it, if I try to tell you, bro, don't come to my house knocking on my door asking for that smoke. If I come downstairs and I come outside and I whoop your ass, right? It's not time for me to show you compassion or mercy at this point. At this point, it's time to show you teach you a lesson, and to make an example out of you, for that the next crazy dude down there in those divisions don't challenge me again. Because I've been trying to tell you guys, this is not how boxing works. But you want to put $150 million in my face and put it so that I don't say no. Because when Saul was trying to say no in the beginning, listen, I don't want to fight Terrence Crawford. I don't want to fight this guy.
How come he
Well,
didn't want to fight him?
150 million will change anybody's mind. Well,
Why
okay,
didn't Canelo want to fight him?
because Canelo said it, he's too small.
So you think that if he hurts him, he's gonna go for the kill when he knows that he's too small?
You got to make an example now.
Yes or no?
You got to teach a lesson. You're supposed to do that. If may the gods hear me, if by any remarkable chance Terrence Crawford hurts Saul, I hope he breaks his jaw. I hope he shatters his cheekbone and knocks him cold the fuck out. Right? Show him no mercy. None. Zero. Right? And on the other hand, I hope Saul gives the same treatment to Terrence. I hope he treats him the same exact way. Make he shatter his face. Right? Because then I'll know neither man was holding back. I'm tired of these gimme fights. If this is what you wanted to see, this is what you paid for, then be prepared for the violence that we were trying to tell you that this could happen. Right? Saul was trying to tell the world, bro, he's too little. And they said, no. Oh, yeah? Okay. But then the same thing applies for Terrence. No, there's no time to show. It's time to set an example, a precedent, so this kind of shit don't keep happening.
Well, here's the
I
thing
hope
with
they
that.
both, because if they allow this to continue, then Naoya Inoue is going to fight Usyk. Okay? And these gimme fights are going to continue to happen. But if one of those guys go out there and starches the other one, maybe this kills this notion. And we won't have Tank Davis fucking fighting some guy up there like Jake Paul's. Look at this. Because we're not respecting weights anymore. It's always opinion. Oh, I think this guy can do this. I think this guy can do that. Man, I hope Saul rocks him. And I hope Terrence rocks him.
Yeah, so I see if Crawford is putting the brakes, putting the beats on Canelo, then I see Canelo up in the level, hurting Crawford and maybe stopping him. But he's not. But what I'm saying is, Canelo's winning the fight. He hurts Crawford. I think he'll let him ride to survive another round, to have more of a fight.
You're crazy.
What
if that backfires on you and he's like, oh, let him off the hook, and then Crawford knocks him out the next round? And then like knockout code. You can count to 100. He never would have got up. Before you showing mercy.
Mercy, baby. Hey, but that's just how Canelo is. And that could be his downfall.
Not how he is.
That's how
I'm trying to tell you that Canelo is not like that. Canelo manages fight, and you're taking fight management and using it as compassion. It's not the same thing. Canelo was forcing the guy to come forward. The guy just didn't go for the trap. He would have knocked that guy out. But since Canelo gets up 6 rounds, 7 rounds, then he starts fighting off the back foot. That's not compassion, brother.
Well, when he knocked
That's
out
boxing
Berlanga and he knocked
management.
out Munguia
Oh, that's a
and they got
Mexican.
up, he didn't go for the kill.
I knew you were going to say that, but that's because Jaime Munguia is a
Both with
young
Berlanga. What about Berlanga?
Mexican. He
Berlanga.
tried to
All that
kill
shit.
Berlanga. He
No,
never showed Berlanga no love. None,
no, he did
zero.
not try to kill Berlanga.
Yo, there's not a moment in that fight, right, that you can go back and send me on tape that you can prove without your opinion. Because first you're gonna need proof, evidence, right? From the moment he dropped Berlanga, he tried to rip that dude's head off. He didn't show Berlanga no love, no sympathy. He was immediately on the next round trying to put him down again. Berlanga was fighting off the back foot, retreating, blocking, not clinching. He wasn't engaging as much because he was hurt. Saud tried everything to knock out Berlanga, bro. There's nowhere in there that I ever saw he letting up on Berlanga ever in the fight.
No, how about the time when Canelo thought the round was over and the round wasn't over?
Well, he thought exactly what
You
you
mean
just said.
Canelo? You mean Canelo thought that the
Canelo,
round was
right.
over? Yeah.
He
Right.
thought the round was over.
Right,
So
but you're
that's my point.
that doesn't show
Canelo is-
compassion.
He's trying to go back to the corner already.
Yeah, because he thought the round
What
was
the hell?
over.
But Berlanga, well, come on, man.
How does that spell compassion?
Because he's like, okay, the round's over.
Bro,
I'm going
either
back to my
you took
partner
your
now. I'm
wife,
going
your
back to my
girlfriend's
partner.
fucking
So-
emotional pills or something,
Hormones, pills.
hormone pills or something.
Hey, you know what?
You're on
You
some
know what?
soft ass shit right now,
I
bro. You've
probably
been
am
on
right now,
some
'cause
soft
you know
ass
what?
shit for like the last 30 minutes.
R.I.P. Charlie Kirk.
You
baby.
are, listen, you need a hug,
R.I.P.
bro.
Charlie Kirk,
Are you
bro.
okay?
All right. Charlie
Listen,
Kirk. That fucked me
maybe
up.
Charlie Kirk fucked me up too, but I don't
Fucked
even
me
want to
up,
bring
see?
that up. I just made a video about that and I put it
Yeah.
out because
I was looking at it.
it was wrong that my news outlet out here, the Channel 4 News, said that one
Yeah.
of the bullets had and look at that's the news outlets trying to push out these narratives to the people. And then the FBI guys came out and read exactly what was on it, and they didn't say none of that shit. And
What
you
did
see,
it say?
and that's why I don't watch news. I don't talk politics or religion because of shit like that. And it reminds me.
Divides us.
It divides us. And it reminds me that it gets us all thinking conspiracy theory. And what I believe
What was
the
on the
world is
bullet?
trying.
Round one?
Check it out. Wait. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about it really. What I
Okay.
really believe what's behind all of these individual acts around the world, it could be anything that makes the news. What I really try and think the end game plan is that when you see real shit, you always question it. You're going to say that was staged, that was hers. So now we can no longer see real shit because we won't be able to identify it. There's always going to be an asshole that says the bullet ricocheted off this, did that, that's too much blood. It's just a lot of young people or older people, in fact, that have not experienced shit, that are trying to talk like they experienced it. Like, for example, there was a guy said something about the amount of blood that came out. And I would say, what do you know about that? Have you ever seen somebody's jugular vein get cut, severed, or you just saw it in a movie? You're just talking out of what you assume. Because I'm going to tell you right now, my friend's jugular vein got cut right in front of me. And I saw him die. And I saw the amount of time it took him to die. Okay? So,
the fuck, you ain't help him? You ain't put a fucking tourniquet on him?
what are you
Try to
talking
stop
about?
the blood? The hell?
Okay, first of all, it was in high school. It was in the middle of the fucking class. He got his throat cut, and he ran to the principal's office and sat in the chair and died. Everybody in the world was freaking out with the amount of blood was squirting out of his neck, and all the security was instructing us to our classrooms. It was in Worcester, Massachusetts. It was South High. I'm a high school. The young man's name was Jerome Johnson. He was a boxer in our gym. Shouts out, my condolences to his family. This is a real event I'm talking about. This happened for real in front of all of us. Okay? So if you've never seen somebody's jugular vein get cut, don't talk about it.
Yeah, any vein
Okay?
that gets
Now,
cut, there's gonna
my
spill a lot
point
of
is
blood.
this. Wait. You've never seen that, bro. You're not qualified to talk about it. Okay? And another thing is, what I think their end game is for us to see shit and say, that's fake, that's staged, that's this. Everybody seems to have a friend or a family member or someone that is trying to downplay, or when shit happens in split timing, they're trying to explain it. There's no explanations for some things sometimes. People just react and do things. But and then here comes this asshole frame by frame and tries to like think it through. Like if there was really a thought process going through during that time. There was a thought process, but some people don't catch it. And here comes this asshole on frame by frame motion trying to develop this with stage or fake. Don't you know that real shit sometimes is not carried out in a professional manner? Real shit can look clumsy. Real shit can look sloppy.
Yeah, but
fumble over each other. No, that's my problem. Even when you were gonna say, yeah, but
the thing is though, like when you look at everything, it's just, I mean, the kid was practicing since 9 years old. That's one thing that we didn't know. We you know.
Okay, I don't even want to go into that, because that's how they get you. That's how they get you. One outlet starts to report these things, and another outlet starts to report these things. Now, and then here comes this crazy conspiracy theory people that come in and they start to say, the time was this, the wind was blowing east, and there was a small dip in the thing. It was listen, it was just some radical dude got up on somewhere with something and shot him. Then they're going to say, I bet you, there's going to be somebody that say that the security detail was weak. I guarantee, I haven't heard this yet, but I bet you it's coming. Then they're going to say, let me take a shot at this. Then they're going to say things like, I don't know how many times he shot, so I stopped listening to it, so I don't have a lot of details. But then they're going to say that one guy was standing behind him and did a funny movement with his hands or something, and that was the sign to shoot. Then they're going to say, because you can do this to everything in life. Unless everybody was standing like a statue, if somebody threw a fucking fart, right? That's the signal. You could use anything, any movement, look, anybody just go like this. That was the signal. That's what they're going to put out. Fear. All this kind of in things, and look at this angle and look at that angle, just to get the person to second guess it, so that tomorrow when you walk outside, wait, so that tomorrow, this is what this is all geared up for. So tomorrow when you walk out of your house and you see real shit happen, you're going to question it, whether or not did you really just see that. Just like when those 4 cops beat the hell out of Rodney King with a chain that was wrapped around his neck like a dog. Where on the police force do they issue out a 30-foot chain where they can hold you on the ground with the chain like a dog, and the 3 other guys can beat you with billy clubs repeatedly? And when we watched that, you know what they told you? That wasn't real. That's not what you saw. And it worked, didn't it? So every time you see some real shit happen, you know what's going to happen? Conspiracy theory. And people are going to get away with shit. Because even though you just saw that shit, you know what? You've been trained. That's not real. You just didn't see what you just saw. And in a few days, your mind is going to turn against you. And every time you relive that memory, it changes. And pretty soon they're going to have you, you know what? That was staged. Checkmate. Yep. Checkmate. You don't even believe anymore what you're actually watching.
That's not the point. The point is this. The point is that through history, throughout history, right?
That is the point.
There's always been certain events that don't make sense. JFK, MLK, 9/11. We could go on and on and on, right? So that's why people make content. Hold on. Now, to your point, you're right. people can be out there spreading these false narratives, all these point of views and whatever the case may be. But guess where else they do it at? They do it in boxing too. They do it with any content they can create.
Of course, we
That's
know that.
exactly, but that's my point. So
Yep.
people are gonna do that regardless, especially in 2025 and in our time. Everybody's gonna start doing that now. There's little things here and there that just sometimes don't make sense. For instance, one of them is, why did the Air Force carry his body? He's never been in the military, and
All right, you
everybody's
see now.
everybody's questioning that.
Okay, wait, just stop. I do not discuss politics or religion on my show, and I really don't even want to talk about this guy. And when I see things like that, and people, they got you right where they want you, and then you're exactly in the place what I just talked about. You don't even see yourself there, my man.
I'm not anywhere.
Where I'm saying, yes, you are. You just don't see it yet.
No, I'm not. I'm celebrating.
Okay, let me explain.
I'm celebrating Días de los Muertos. That's
okay.
What I'm doing.
Let me explain why. The
That's
reason
devil,
why you're
bro.
there and you don't know
That's
it
the
yet.
devil.
Hold on.
Días
Chill,
de
guys.
los
Wait.
Muertos.
Don't. I will mute the fuck out of you. All
Hey,
right,
bro, why
listen.
always me, round one? What the
Because
fuck?
don't wait.
I
Stop.
say one word.
Oh my god, I can't. I gotta
Fuck.
mute him. I got to. Look
This
at.
fucking guy.
What I'm saying, guys. I love you guys. Listen, what I'm saying is this. My man is in it and he doesn't even know it because he brought up the conversation that why would they have him in Air Force 2 if he's never served? The fact that he even said that line proves that he's in it. He just doesn't know it yet because he's engaging in a conversation and a narrative they've put out there or an image they showed you. So he's dead locked in it. He just doesn't know it. Now, my thing
I'm
is
not.
this.
I'm
My
telling
thing is
you.
my
I'm
thing is
telling you
this.
what they're
I would never
showing.
wait, brother. I would never even address that. I saw that. I saw it for myself, and I never even addressed it because I know I'm not in it because that's not a concern for me. It's not even a question. It's not even something I would even think about talking about, even though I saw that this morning when they were putting his wooden body in the Air Force 2, and I know it. The fact that you would even bring that up and bring it up as a question that why would they do that? That was your opening line. Why would they do this if he never served? You see how they got you? They got you even questioning the
I
story
said
they put out.
round one.
Now, me, a person that's not in it, I would never even question the story. I would never even question the act. You would never hear me talk about it because and nowhere in my radar does that even interest me. Okay. First of all, can a human do another favor for another human? And if you're the president of the United States and you have access to anything, could you request it as to do something that you feel that a man used to talk about me and pulls me up? Man, maybe that's the least I could do for the man. Put him on an airplane. But people are gonna come out and question it like if the man ever served or even if that should be part of a conversation. In my vocabulary, that would be a conversation of zero stature. That would be a conversation I would never have. I would have never, ever in my life ever even questioned whether a man went on a plane or not. What the fuck does that matter to me?
Okay, but again, that's what they're questioning. That's what they're questioning.
Yeah, and that's what you're promoting, and you're in it.
No, I didn't serve in the military. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you.
Yes.
I didn't serve in the military, so there's no reason for me to give a fuck or be butthurt. This is what people on the internet. Yes, because that's what
you're repeating it.
That's what they're questioning.
You have to understand that you're spreading that.
I'm giving you the same information you already know that's on the internet.
So
why are you saying I'm in it?
Okay. Check it out. You're giving me the same information that's on the internet that my brain excluded it from repeating it or ever talking about it because it's nonsense. That means that I don't help promote the questions that the other people, I just ignore them and I keep walking by it because it's not important for me to talk about it.
Okay,
That's not my
and now
place.
to your point, you say it's not important. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to bring this up. But you made 2 videos. Let's just stick to boxing then.
Right. I made 2 videos about a content creator getting killed over his word. I'm a content creator.
And guess what? It's gonna continue happening. And guess what? Guns are cheap, and they want us to do this type of stuff. You
What are you talking?
understand?
I've never seen a gun kill a person in my life.
I'm talking
Never.
about the fact that it's easy access and it's cheap. It costs less than a house and a car, bro.
What are you talking about? A Glock costs $2,500.
No, not everywhere not in every state, it don't.
All
And
right,
not
all
the
right.
dirty ones in the street, they don't.
Okay, but still, guns are not bad.
I'm not saying they are. What I'm saying is,
What are you saying then?
It's
What
all
are
part
you
of
saying?
the government. It's all part of the government agenda.
What government?
Bro.
Whoa, yo, stop. Just you see,
I
I can't go down this road.
You can't have this conversation with me,
No,
bro.
I don't talk about politics, government.
Yeah, because I think you haven't traveled enough to actually look at different neighborhoods and the whole country and understand how the fucking nation is divided and how it works. I really don't. I really think that you don't understand that.
Yo, check this out, my man, right? I've been in more places in the world than you have, and I've been in tougher neighborhoods than you have. All right? You know nothing about
understand this.
You know nothing about this character, round 1, or this persona I put on for you. I'll jump right out of this character. You'll see the real me. You have no idea who I am.
You can, and guess what? You're still gonna get owned in a debate, bro. Because you're saying, all this other bullshit that you're talking about, we can't have that piece of shit talking about all this racist comments and then making all this the next generation and all these other people think that because hold on, no.
Who you calling a piece of shit? Is he calling Charlie Kirk a piece of shit?
Okay. Chill. I gotta stop that shit right there, right? I can't. I'm not gonna promote any of that political shit or going down that race or having him call Charlie a piece of shit.
Right.
That's gotta stop.
On this topic.
Yeah. I can no longer go down that road. That just gets people angry. That's exactly why I don't talk about it, politics or religion. That's why I don't want to change anybody's viewpoint, because people get in a situation where they start thinking their own words, or just because they're in front of a microphone, that when they speak with passion, that they're actually changing something. And I don't think that they understand that they need to check their own ego. You know, what are you preaching this for? For you or for yourself, or for the greater good? Is it because you get validation because you sound smart, or that you think that your ideology should be the right one? Right? Like, I don't think that should, it's, look, I have a lot of viewpoints of how I think this world should run, but I'm not a politician. I'm not qualified to talk about that. I don't think that everybody, just because you can talk about something, I don't think we understand that we're not actually qualified to talk about it. And opinions are like assholes. We all have opinions on something. But just because I have a shitload of ideas about politics, about religion, I'm very smart. But I learned intelligence is not always the key, an answer. Intelligence is not, it's just because you can sound intelligent, that doesn't mean because I get passionate or I yell about this or I try to convince you that this person was a bad person, that it makes no, the human has to understand that they're trying to get instant gratification for themselves. They're trying to sound smart. They're trying to sound intelligent, and they're trying to sound like they have it all figured out. I don't think that the person that's talking realizes that they're talking like their words should transform the world with no education on being a politician. If you want to make real changes, go to school, be a politician, get into the game. Now you can speak. Now you're qualified. But who the hell am I, Edwin, Round One Sports Talk, to sit here and judge politics and every other word in order to alleviate the problem of the people? You say the government's doing this to us. That's an easy way to check out. Because in actuality, the government doesn't fuck with the government if you knew how the government actually worked. That's why when people say, oh, the government's doing this to us, I know that those are the people that have been mind fucked. I know that those are the kind of people that talk that have been whipped by their own people, and they're saying it's the government. Because I know how government really works. And I know that the government in New York doesn't give two shits of what the government in California is doing. And I know that the government in Massachusetts doesn't give two fucks about Texas. And it doesn't have the same law or the same government. It might be under the same structure. But when the money comes falling down, everybody puts a little in their pocket, don't they? He doesn't care about Tennessee. We don't care about Kentucky. Kentucky, Oregon's laws did not work in Vermont. So how is it that this whole government conspiracy all works against each other when the government's constantly taking each other out in separate countries and towns and cities? How is it that the people think that this one entity called the government works in cahoots to fucking us? How? If there are a bunch of dysfunctional, this government shit doesn't work. It never has and it won't. But this is the best we got. It's the best we got. So when people say, oh, the government is oppressing us, putting us down, no, it's your city. That's your city. That's your government. That's your governor. That's your mayor. Yeah, there's also fucking 100,000 governors and mayors across all America. And the mayor of Utah does not dictate what the mayor of New York does. And the governor of New York does not dictate what the governor of California does. The Senate doesn't even get along with themselves. And you think a bunch of corrupt motherfuckers really got enough capacity to really be behind us? No, it's our people. It's our neighborhoods. It's all the people in our inner city that's putting money in their pocket. It's us fucking us. It's not this government thing. I never thought it was. The people that are fucking you are your neighbors, bro. The people around you. Ain't no fucking Bill Clinton coming down in my neighborhood, sticking it to me. Yeah, they're setting laws. Yeah, they're doing this. Because everything rolls downhill. But it's really technically where you live at. Yo, I've been in some real shitholes places in my life. And I've gotten myself out of some shithole places. And the consensus was that my neighborhood thought that the government was doing this to us. But what I saw outside with my own two eyes, it was us robbing us selling drugs to us pimping us kidnapping us killing us. I never saw the fucking government with the suit and ties out on the corner killing us. And I never saw a gun kill anyone. I've never saw a gun in my life get up and shoot someone else. I saw a human take a gun and shoot another human. That's what I saw. I never saw a gun by itself jump out of the drawer and just shoot a kid in the head. That I never seen. So when these people are all like fucking mind fucked and whipped, the government's doing this to us. No, it's not. It's us doing it to us. I never found that thing. That's why I don't talk about politics, bro. Because I think a lot of this shit is bullshit. I think a lot of people, just like the devil, whenever they do bad shit, it's easy for an scapegoat. Just blame it on the devil. Whenever you don't understand something that don't make sense, just say it's a UFO or an alien. Because then you'll stop thinking. Because it's a question that over-rationalizes everything you don't understand. As long as you can say the word government, that caps all your understanding and you'll stop thinking. If you see a ship in the space and it doesn't look like ours, just say aliens. Then you think Star Trek. When I saw a spaceship, I never thought Star Trek, ever. I never thought that alien ship can go into outer space. No, that thing is flying in a straight line that way. That means that motherfucker landed here, somewhere on this planet. Right? It's right there, man. It's not in the space. That shit is right there. How do you think that thing can just go into space? Why do you think that? Why do you think that it can just go from one planet to another? Really? In order for us to do that, we would have to cryogenically freeze ourselves. The aliens figured that shit out. It doesn't take 1 billion years to say hi, right? A lot of shit don't make sense when you just sit back and think about it, right? So that's what I mean. When people are upset that things are not going the way they want, they go outside of their neighborhood, they look at all the depression, and they look at everything, and they say, now, there's been cities that have been attacked by like programs, governmental programs, when the government actually steps in and does this. But that's the government of Detroit. Detroit systematically broke down Detroit, and they have this whole study on it. Detroit's government did that to Detroit. You think that affected us in Massachusetts? Did that affect you in California? Did it affect you in Florida? What was happening in Detroit? They wanted to know what happened to you. That's fucking people fucking with people, right? Government programming, that all shit does happen. But typically, I found what the government runs off is fear-based, right? The best thing that I ever seen work in my life as a strategy, like in situations, rumors. If like I said that the German army was coming over the hill, the Americans in World War II blew up tanks, fake tanks. They were made out of air. They had prop soldiers, and this is real shit. They had like prop soldiers. So when they looked over, it's what they saw. But the Americans didn't have the funding to put those troops in tanks, so they just made like fake ass setups. And it worked. It worked. Yeah, the government, for me, it's more based off us. All these conversations we have, we scare each other. I tell you a story, you repeat the story back to him. The story keeps going. We educate ourselves on negativity, how they do it, what they're doing, but absolutely don't get up out of bed to do nothing to stop it. The only thing some people do, the majority of the people, is talk about it. But not one of them is building a fund me program to combat that issue. They just keep talking about it and go to the next one. Soon, with enough debating like that, you turn into those old grumpy people that are scared to come out of their house, that are always in the window, that are isolated from everyone. That's what you turn into. You turn into that, like that little dude, my precious, with the ring. That's what you turn into. How do you think you get there? Enough conspiracy theories, believing shit ain't real, enough times, enough arguments, enough saying that the government's this, enough times, you're going to train yourself to believe like this. And soon, you ever see those older people that never leave their house? How do you think they get there? How do you think they were born like that? No. You know your friend. You grew up with one of your friends your whole life, and you watch them change. You're like, yo, when we were younger, he wasn't like that. He wasn't like that. Well, how do you think he got that way? Keep arguing about every little topic, every little story. Keep doing that. You're going to turn into that paranoid old dude that doesn't go anywhere. That's only talking about, and you have become a prisoner to your own thoughts. I'm not going to allow that to happen to me. That's why I saw that shit with the plane, with the coffin. So what? People die every day. Unfortunately, I'm gonna die tomorrow. You'll die next week. He'll die next Thursday. It's inedible. You know, I got other things. We got boxing to talk about. We got a lot of great fights and shit. The fuck are we talking about this shit for? Right? See, that's why I don't like to bring this shit, because it brings us down these paths of dividing us. I don't agree with you. You don't agree with me. I don't see your viewpoint. Fuck you. Go to hell. I'll love you tomorrow. I don't take anything. My man sent me mad messages in the private chat. It's okay. Come on tomorrow, bro. You'll calm down. Don't worry. We're still cool. You know, I'm smart enough to recognize friends argue a fight. I'm a grown ass man, bro. So what? We don't agree. But I'm trying to teach you something too. Like, don't argue all these things just because you're right too. You could be right in theory, but I think it fucks us up when we start going down those rabbit holes. So just pull back, bro. Pull back and be like, yo, you know what, man? I got my own fucking problems, my own issues. My rent is due. Okay. My daughter is downstairs. I gotta go make myself something to eat. I gotta work out today. I gotta go run and jog, get my steps in and a little bit of training. Man, fuck all that other shit. Let me worry about myself. And that's what I try to do. I try to focus on myself. You know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna all agree, but hey, I nah, I don't want to be that dude, bro, that just arguing all these fucking topics that are going on in the world. You know what? There's people that are trained and they're qualified to talk about those topics. They're doing their job. Let them do their job. You know, they're taking care of his body and they're doing whatever. I'll take in the notion that there's people, they're on the top of that. So anyway, Terrence Crawford and Bud. Did I just say Terrence Crawford and Bud? Yes, I did. Then where the fuck is Saul at? They got me messed up. See what I'm saying, guys? Yo, look. Here's my predictions for both fights. Naoya Inoue, the monster, versus MJ, and Terrence Crawford for Saul Canelo Alvarez. See, the thing is, it might be subject to change until tonight. I might feel another way. I don't know. Look. They've dressed it up really nice for Terrence Crawford. They really have. He really put himself in a position where that a lot of us are believing in him. We're starting to believe that just maybe there could be a guy that can pull off this kind of upset, because it will be an upset to epic proportions if he beats Saul Canelo Alvarez. What that says is that he came up from practically 3 weight divisions and beat the reigning undisputed champion of the world. And that speaks a lot into a combat sports, that in the history side of everything, he becomes 5 divisions, all 3 belts in the 4-belt era, as the first man to have all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. He would have 5 weight divisions in total that he won world titles in, Terrence Crawford. Now, at the tail end of that victory is going to be Saul Canelo Alvarez's name. And at that point, he's going to have 3 losses. And the 3 losses that he lost to, remarkably, were undisputed champions and unified world champions at points. See, because Floyd Mayweather at one point in time had 3 belts. Usyk had, I'm sorry, not Usyk. Dimitri Bivol had gotten 4 belts, and Terrence Crawford had 4 belts. So when it went to the quality and the caliber of men that have the ability to be multiple belt champions, you fell to those guys. What other guy Saul Canelo Alvarez ever fought that had 4 belts? Or how about 3? What guy did he ever fight? Can anybody help me with that? That any of the guys, did Amir Khan ever have 3 belts, or did who? Who did he ever win against? That was because I can't think off the top of my head. So I would like you to help me with that, if there's anybody. But see, these are the arguments that are going to be said about Saul. And when people say, no, Saul doesn't need this fight to cement his legacy. No. But will it hurt his legacy? Yes. Why wouldn't it hurt his legacy if he loses all 4 belts And then you're saying what? He was supposed to fight Hamza Sharif for what? For nothing? Because at that point in time, when he have no belts, Terrence Crawford would have all 4 belts, right? And then if Terrence Crawford wins all 4 belts, is he prepared to stay in the division and defend all 4 belts? Or is he holding up the division again? Is he going to retire? What is he going to do with all 4 of these belts? Keep him hostage for a year and then announce his retirement? Taking off a year of all the fighters in the division? Because he never defended any of the belts at 147. Okay? So, is he a real champion at 168 at the end of the day, Terrence Crawford? You might have won a belt, but you didn't defend him. Does that count for something? You see, so the way the victory comes out and the way everything, I think it's going to play into their career and their legacy. So don't buy into this notion that it's safe for both fighters. You know, these guys are trying to tell you, no, it's safe. What the? That it's safe, that you don't, this ain't going to affect your career or your legacy or everything you built. Bullshit. If Terrence Crawford loses, it affects he didn't retire undefeated. How could you say that? The difference between retiring undefeated and taking a loss, you lost. Yeah, that's going to affect you. Did it not affect Manny Pacquiao when he lost to Floyd Mayweather? I rest my case. Manny Pacquiao cannot be considered better than somebody he lost to. I don't care what your opinion is. What does it say in the book? And that's the problem with a lot of fight fans. That they think they want to talk with facts, right? But they want to blur their facts with what ifs. What you mean? You live on a fantasy island. I can't like, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that, you know, it's got to be facts over feelings. It has to be facts over feelings. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, it went down the history books. Manny Pacquiao lost. What I thought happened in the fight, what I feel happened in the fight, doesn't matter. That's only feelings. What's the facts? He lost. And if I beat you, how could you be considered better than me? Those are just facts. There's no way around it. The only way around things like that are going to be but conversations. But that doesn't work around here. That doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, Phil, what up? Just watching the start of the stream. Just click on the live comment, but since it's still live, MJ and his team are going to Japan with one game plan. One game plan. Okay. Props for high up. Oh yeah? Yo, listen. He deserves it. He deserves it, brother. He deserves it. Oh yeah? Let me see this right here. I stopped talking boxing after. Okay. Since I never had you as a fan, I read yours carefully because I have been known to read things out loud, and it'll be some crazy shit. I'll just read it. You know what I mean? So how he is in the ring is how he's conducted himself outside the ring, and that makes him even more special. I've always said that about Naoya Inoue. I like him as a fighter in and out of the ring. I think he's a prime example for other fighters that are looking up to do it the right way. I believe that fighting and boxing, there has to be honor in combat. There's a great respect that and honor that's being lost in in American boxing because of a lot of our shit talking. But make no mistake, at the end of the fight, you can see the honor in these men's faces sometimes. I like the fact that when um, Brian Norman Jr. beat Jin out in Japan, after the knockout, he commended the young man and he said to him, "You're really good. You will be a world champion." He showed a lot of respect to his opponent. There's no need to gloat in this kind of victory, and things like that. I'm all for shit talking, 101 boxing shit talking. I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna break your jaw. Blah blah blah. That's 101 shit talking boxing. If you don't like that, then you go watch tennis or something. You might have a little thin skin. But that's 101 and identifying the two from regular shit talking to now we're crossing lines, starting to talk about kids and wives and family members and stuff. I don't think that that's necessary. I think that's very distasteful. To build a fight, you don't have to respect your opponent in the moment to show him that sometimes when fight time would start, you might have even came up with this person in the amateurs or everything, but once our fight was signed and I saw you, there was no shaking your hand or hey, how you doing, man? There's none of that shit. Talk to me after the fight. Then I could be, hey man, oh man, that was a great fight, dude. Blah blah blah. Yo, let's go out, let's eat some dinner. You know, and the respect and the honor is there about fighting in competition. But I get, the boosting up the fight. And the one thing that I noticed about this Japanese dude, Naoya Inoue, it wasn't the fact that he talked shit that intrigued me. He doesn't even know English. I don't even know what the hell he's saying. But he's a man of very few words. And he shows you a prime example that you don't need to talk shit and embarrass yourselves to sell your fight. What you need to do is go out there and knock people out. See what I'm saying? And that right there in itself, that's what attracted me to Naoya Inoue, was his fighting ability. It wasn't what he was saying out of his mouth. It wasn't that he was drunk on TV, flipping his car, smacking his wife. He didn't do none of that shit. He didn't talk shit about the other fighter. He just went out there, performed, did his job, and he did it to the best of his ability. And we love him for it. I talked about this. Naoya Inoue makes me feel like I can get behind this guy and I can see what hard work, God-gifted talent combined with the right preparation and focusedness to watch how far a guy can actually go. It's all the time I talk about this. My American guys, there's always something. They're always putting them in jail, putting charges on them. He's flipping his car or something, or becoming addicted to drugs, or forced to serve in the army. I never see an elite fighter, Sugar Ray Leonard, who stood at the party too long. You always see like Mike Tyson and these guys, the pitfalls of life. Is there ever going to be this one guy that was honest, noble, and fucking remarkably talented, good, powerful, knockout artist, the whole package, but was like Tom Brady? Didn't talk shit, didn't gloat over victories, on to the next one, not put him up, knock him down. And is his career gonna play out with no hiccups? And the closest thing I think is Naoya Inoue is gonna end 90% of his career like that. If he keeps going this way, he can only get up to 90% because unfortunately 10% is already be taken away from him and all the fighters with this corona epidemic. So that's a done deal. I can't judge his career as 100%. Like, what if he would have did the 100% of his career? Nah, you have to factor in that 2-year corona epidemic, the what ifs. If he fights 4 times a year, that's 8 fights. at least minimum 6 fights like that with them 2 years epidemic and corona. So how many times did he end up fighting? I think twice in that year. So they probably took maybe 1 or 2 fights from that year. The following year, I think he fought once. So they probably took about 2 or 3 fights from us in that year. So in total, they probably on average took away four Naoya Inoue fights on average. I'm gonna give it around there. Could be more, could be a little, but 4 is probably the key number. So the 4 is a big. That's big for your career, man. So the best he can do is retire 90%. And he'll be the closest person I've seen like that I got to like that was that elite that had access to all the outside distractions, the money, the women, the fame, the cars, everything. And he didn't fall through those pitfalls. He stayed the course, and there's a government didn't try to screw him over. They didn't try to like send him to the Japanese army, or he had to go to jail for 3 years, or like I think he might be the closest, man, and the most dominant champion. Man, cross my fingers, man. Tomorrow they don't put charges on the man. It seems like when these guys get so big, something tries to like, you know what I mean? But I like Naoya in a way. He makes me feel like he is the definition of an athlete that's dedicated, that has sacrificed his life to the sport. He sacrificed his life. He could be doing a lot of other things in the world. He's in a gym day by day training and shit for this sport to give us entertainment and to give himself legacy, to go down in history as one of the greatest fighters to ever lace it up. He's sacrificing his life. There's a lot of other things he could be doing. That's called sacrifice. And he's amazing. He's amazing. That's why I get behind him, because it's not who he is as a nationality. It's not that he's Japanese, or I don't care about any of that. That we don't speak the same language. That doesn't matter. Does he bleed like me? Yeah, well, then he's a human. Then I'm a human. Okay, we're the same. Okay, we got that out the way. So you're doing something at the top, and I'm acknowledging it. That's what this is about. It's acknowledging greatness. It's acknowledging hard work individuals, people that actually get out of bed to do it. And give them their credit. Give them their credit. Whether you believe he's the best or not, I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to change your mind. Have your beliefs. Do what you want. I'm just here to talk about boxing and the best men and women to do the sport we love. So listen, guys, I'm going to hop off now. I'm going to get myself something to eat because we're going on live later on. We're going to be on a live. So all your questions, everything you guys want to put in the comments, come back to Round One Sports Talk. We're going to be filming the Saul Canelo Alvarez fight. I'm not the actual fight, but I'm going to be commenting in the fight. I would love to know what you think about the fight. Look, I got Naoya Inoue. I think that if he stays the course, he's smart enough. I think he's going to, he knows he's got to see what I see in MJ. He has to. He's a good hooker. Don't hook with a hooker. Don't. So I think that MJ is a worthy opponent. I'm gonna stop with the, because they started this shit trying to call Naoya Inoue a duck. Well, I was gonna finish it. All right. So, but real talk, MJ's dangerous. He's dangerous. This is gonna be a tough fight for Naoya Inoue. He throws the best hooks in the game. He's the best hook puncher Naoya Inoue has probably ever fought, because he could do it with both hands really good, with the left and the right. He's sharp with both hands and in the inside. And that's Naoya Inoue's weakness for the most part. But Naoya Inoue, like I talked about this, he understands what he did. Very, very tough fight, make no mistake. But I think that Naoya Inoue is a very smart fighter, and he has multiple ways of beating you. And he has a selection of punches that most fighters are not privileged to. He understands position, timing, and he's distant management is incredible. With all those attributes, I don't see a way that MJ beats him. Such a smart fighter, but shit happens in a fight. Trust me, guys, it happens. Okay. But I got Naoya Inoue stopping him after 7. After 7. I think that MJ's gonna be a threat for a little while. Naoya's gonna have to beat him up from the outside, soften him up a little. After 7, I think Naoya Inoue is gonna stop him. This does not go to the scorecards. No, there's gonna be a knockout in this fight, Naoya Inoue fight. When isn't there a knockout in a Naoya Inoue fight? The last 12 fights, have we gone to a scorecard? We haven't gone to a scorecard in the Naoya Inoue fight since Donaire fight. So why would I think anything else is different in this fight? You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to no scorecard. So, and then as for Terrence Crawford, Terrence Crawford and Saul, we're going to the scorecard in this fight. Who wins at the end of the night? Now that is going to be interesting. But we are going to the scorecard in the Saul Canelo Alvarez Terrence Crawford fight. Who ends up winning when that is all said and done? That's going to be tough. I think that Terrence Crawford, look, I'm in agreement that Terrence Crawford has never been hit by a guy like Saul. I'm in agreement. But I'm also in agreement that every guy that of late Saul has hit, you know, everybody has shown you can kind of take his power. You could kind of it's fucking bludgeoning power. You're gonna be sore for like a week after that fight. Terrence is gonna be in bed for a long time, man. He's gonna be bruised the fuck up. But he can survive that. He can survive it. Unless he takes it on the temple or right here in this jaw, right here, too many times, Terrence can't do that. If he gets hit, clipped too many times, he's going out by Saul. Yeah. But I don't know if Saul can catch up to him, to Terrence. You know, I think, but at the same time, I think Terrence would pop a little bit harder. But for more power that you give Terrence, you're going to have to take away speed. You're going to have to take away a little bit of his gas tank to give him more power. You're not going to be able to give Terrence more power and still keep him as fast as 147 in your mind. You're going to have to be realistic here. Is give and take a little, right? Isn't it that how that works? The give and take? And I think that if Terrence raises one part, you're going to have to, that's typically how it works for the human body. I don't think you can raise one thing and keep everything elevated 3 weight divisions up. If we were talking maybe 1 weight division jump, that's when you're working on that. That's possible. That's 3. See, that's when the task is that much harder. You guys really got to take these weight divisions into consideration, how hard this shit is to do. That's why it's not the same. And it's hard for me to judge this fight. It really is. It's really hard for me to judge this fight because it's like, Edwin, you're being conned. You're being sold on the fact that this is an even fight when you know it's not. Saul is supposed to win this fight. Technically, you do know that, Edwin. I'm like, yeah, he's supposed to win. Terrence Crawford's being set up. It's kind of like that mobster at the end of the mobster movie and shit. And they're like, don't go there. You know you're being set up. And the mobster looks back and goes, I know I'm being set up. I know as soon as I walk in the room, they're going to shoot me in the back of the head. He still walks in the room. You know? Like, I don't know, Terrence, man. May force be with you. I will see you guys tonight. I'll let you know my prediction on that one tonight. Can't call it right now. Subscribe to the channel. Love you guys. Hey, yo. Lowe's Boxing. That's what's up. And Chicago Kills. I love you too, bro.